stage. All right, Vestas, welcome to Tony Talks, Vested Up, Compelling Sports Edge. Let me come to the stage. Let me come to the stage. Hey, today is day 54 of the Carmelo Anthony being wrongfully convicted. Without the affidavit, I'm not saying that Carmelo Anthony would not get a fair shot as a new trial of the recused John Roach. It's because that interview that John Roach did, also with the Bastion rule, the Bastion challenge, all that would have came into play. But all I'm saying is that affidavit is the smoking gun. Let me see him. Now tonight, I got the audio clips from the Nancy Grace interview with Jeff Metcalf. And now, knowing what we know now, we're going to look at this interview and assess this interview. And I'm going to give my commentary on this interview with a different lens of eyes. Because what he said and what she said is very appalling. It's disrespectful. It's disgusting. Now, I don't think at this time, matter of fact, at this time, none of us knew about exactly what happened behind the scenes in Collins County. Starting at the 5th of March, the 5th of May, exactly almost 1 month to Carmelo Anthony trial, because his trial started on June the 4th. But going back, looking at this thing, when they say that hindsight 2020 is crystal clear, disgusting. Disgusting. The injustices that this man was proud of, and that what she said, disgusting. Now, Tony Talks Vested Up. Well, why are you having an issue with Nancy Grace when she spoke, about the Nolan's Well case and spoke so harsh to Branham Tatum? This is why I have an issue with that. To me, at this particular time, I feel like Nancy Grace is only went on this tour of supporting Nolan Wells is because she know what she said about the Karmelo Anthony case was disgusting, because she didn't have all the facts. But see, one thing about people that want to jump out and go viral and start interviewing people like Jeff Metcalf, you set yourself up, Nancy. I understand. I always heard, some people, especially in high places, right? In high places, such as a Nancy Grace, when they find out that they have done wrong, they won't come back and apologize. Yes, I still want an apology on what she said about Carmelo Anthony. I want her to come back on her platform and say, you know what? Hey, I didn't have all the facts. What I said was incorrect. I'm also appalled about what I said about that young man. Until she gives me that, I ain't giving her no credit, because all she trying to do is balance her karma in this matter. Yeah, I heard that's what they do when they get to the top. If they are messed up over here, if they feel like if they go over here and do something right, they kind of balance out the karma. Nah, we still holding you accountable for everything that you said about OJ, Michael Jackson, and what other young black man or older man or mature black man that you have talked so disrespectful about for all of these years. Nancy, I remember you before I even left high school, and I still got that grudge. But what you did to Carmelo Anthony on your platform, I'm gonna hold you accountable today, along with Jeff Metcalf. Now let's go ahead and begin. Now I want to go ahead and remind you of what this document looked like, right? I want to go ahead and remind you of this 193-page appeal packet that Mr. Russell and his team submitted to the courts in Texas. 193 pages. 63 is actually the defense motion for a new trial and a brief in support. And the other 120 something pages is the exhibits that support the defendant's motion for a new trial. And out of all of those exhibits in those 120 pages, guess what exhibit is the longest and the most detailed of them all? Mike Howard's exhibit 10 of all of them is the most telling and the most damaging. Let me go ahead and read this quote right here. This is what she said. Bree West, what are they saying? I certainly haven't seen a motion for a new trial, even in serious felony cases that go into the level of death. Bree West, a former Dallas County Assistant District Attorney who is not involved in the case, tells Fox 4, Casey Stegall the filing is strategic in questioning the fairness of the whole entire proceeding. Keep that in mind. Now, when we go over this video with Nancy Grace and Jeff Metcalf, keep in mind, and I'm going to say allegedly, I'm going to throw you a bone, Jeff Metcalf. I'm going to throw you a bone. I'm going to say you knew something was going on behind the scene, but you really didn't know. You knew that, I'm going to say allegedly, that you knew that the prosecution and the DA's office and Judge Roach was going to do something. They just didn't tell you about it, but you know something was going on behind the scenes. There's no way that you didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. You probably didn't know it was a secret agreement. I ain't gonna give you that much credit, but you knew something was behind the scenes where it was gonna be an advantage to the death and the life of Austin Metcalf. So let's begin. Now, before I begin with the Nancy Grace interview with Jeff Metcalf, I want Jaguar Wright to come to the stage, and she's been echoing the same thing that I've been echoing for the last couple weeks. So thank you for your support, Jaguar.
This Nolan Wells thing that, kind of took the media by storm in regards to a young black male hanging around.
Took the media by storm, and everybody done forgot about Karmelo Anthony and that god-awful watermelon fella t-shirt.
Just like that.
Interesting. The author of that t-shirt is the same pussy that had the audacity to sit there with one good eye and call that young man homosexual and say that he got ran through by all those white boys and even accused his own father of abusing him. I hate the fact that that pussy was born on my birthday.
I am
Charleston
glad
White. At the fact that he actually looks our age and I don't. People should really pay close attention to that. Charleston and I share the same birthday. We turned 49 on the same day, and yet he is the only one of the two of us that looks our age and getting older by the day. I guess all that lying. It's funny, people try to call me a liar. Doesn't seem to be aging me. I guess I must be living an honest life. Charleston White. Son of a bitch. He always playing with somebody's kid. Playing with Gilly's son. Playing with T.I. and Boosie kids. He always playing with somebody's kids. Nolan Wells is dead. And we still don't know how he died. His parents still don't know how he died. And then on top of that, you mixed up the details of his life with another young man who died in Dallas. Damn near the same way.
Daniel Irvin.
Details terrible. Young Mr. Irvin. Over there, Ray Hubbard.
Yeah.
They got rid of his clothes. They got rid of his phone. They tampered with evidence. They deleted text messages. And nobody's been arrested for anything other than tampering with evidence. And he was on the swim team and drowned. I hope somebody slaps that last eye you got out. You already deaf and dumb. It's time for your to be blind.
Jag,
Mob ties came after you. If mob ties came after you, I'd be rejoicing, not cursing. You be gone. You goofy ass making up shit. You and that Dr. Matthews. What the fuck happened to either the both of you? You was over there at Karmelo Anthony's trial. Dr. Matthews show up. Yeah, we're doing this and we're doing that. And she done disappeared. Now she's your reason for being in Houston with my time, so-called. Ain't nobody come after you. You wouldn't be much to handle. You goofball.
Come on, Jaguar.
Not get no fucking Frederick Jolly. Thinks you the best thing that ever happened to podcasts. I'm telling you now, bitch. I guarantee you, because I seen it in a dream. Your days are few.
Y'all watch what she gonna say about Charleston White and Karmelo Anthony. Family.
And the government ain't gonna have much use for you, because if don't nobody believe that you a snitch ass fuck by now, they should know. They set you up there underneath that boy and his family.
Karmelo Anthony.
Them humble Louisiana folk. And you sat there and you played with their mind and you got them to trust a system you knew was gonna fuck them over. And then as soon it was...
Yo, let me pause right here. So we never thought about that. What if, because they knew this case was actually going to favor Karmelo Anthony and his Mike Howard at this team, what if they did send Charleston White in to befriend Karmelo Anthony family to kind of direct them on which way they should go? Hey, listen, I don't know, but I'm just saying, what if we never thought about this? We never thought that what if Charleston White was sent in to befriend Karmelo Anthony and his family just to redirect the path to get a great defense lawyer in the first trial? What if it was a setup, y'all? What if it was a setup? Now, see, the reason why I brought up Jaguar Wright is because she's also from the Dallas, Texas area. So she knows more about what's being said on the ground or not. And the way that she was going off on Charleston White, she knows more about the Charleston White and the Karmelo Anthony connection behind the scenes. What if Charleston White was sent in to set up the family? Because we already know what Charleston White and how he responded after the guilty verdict. And we all were scratching our head and saying, what? But come on, Jag, go ahead and finish. Jag.
You fucking come up with that t-shirt? Somebody ought to bust your fucking watermelon open, bitch. You keep playing with people's kids. You got, they might not be so safe in the future. I've got a bad habit of calling things for the future. You better slow down. You better slow down.
Obviously, the Nolan Wells thing, of course, it was a missing person report. And then it turns out that, of course, a situation happened. Now there's police calls that people listen to where, do you feel it's a full cover-up? Do you feel like someone's...
I want to bring this up. I want to shout out to, I didn't do it, but shout out if you have not seen Jeanetta, I think her name is Jeanetta Brigham. She was on Willie D's channel today. And thank you so much, sister, for everything that you have done. I agree with everything that Willie D has said. And thank you, sir, for doing your selfless service to the Nolan's Well case, because the only reason they mad at about Jeanetta is because it was a black woman that took the initiative, y'all. It was a black woman that took the initiative, say, hey, you know what? Hey, this is my profession. Let me go ahead and get a clip of this audio. Let me send it through my program and see exactly what it says. Now, listen, I'm pretty sure, because what Jeanetta did this, I'm going to say roughly about maybe a week ago when it broke and became viral. Now, you can't tell me that no other person besides Jeanetta of the other complexion that did the same thing she did. But when they heard the audio, the enhanced audio, they said, oh, no, we can't release this. Oh, no. You can't tell me that other people, even if they was playing around an expert or a journeyman or just somebody that has the right audio equipment, you can't tell me that Jeanetta was the first one to do it. It was other people that did it, but they was ashamed of what they heard on the audio. So they feel like, hey, if we don't bring it out, nobody's not even going to take the initiative, the mental initiative to do what Jeanetta did. And why? And that's why when she came out with her with the enhanced version, that's why, according to her interview with Willie D today, they said that she didn't have the skills to do it, that she didn't know what she was doing. They was trying to discredit her. And this lady is a professional audio engineer. What they got upset about is that, first, the audacity of a Black woman to use her professional skills to help the Black community. What? You know how many people got offended about Jeanetta taking her skills outside of work and using them on her personal time to help the Black community? I applaud you, Jeanetta. I applaud you. But you can't tell me in 3-4 weeks, even when the first time that C-Toll call audio clip came out, people ran that, but they was like, oh no, we can't be the first to bring this out. We can't release this. No, it may implicate Bart, Warren, all the other, Katie, whoever else was on the boat. But I will say this, let me go in and flip it. Jeanetta, if you was the first one that did take the mental initiative and the courage to do what you did through your professional skills, I applaud you. Because you did something. This was a Black lady that did something in what? We're going to say 25 days, 26 days, that did something that nobody ever else thought to do. Now, let me hear the haters come out and disprove. Oh, now she wasn't the first one. Well, if she wasn't the first one, why nobody else released it? Because you know what it heard. And let me tell you one thing, for everybody that tries to discredit Jeanetta's work and that audio clip, well, now that you have it, why no one has come out and said, oh no, that's not exactly what it said. Oh no, Jeanetta's audio clip, enhanced audio clip, is not what it's saying. Y'all, let's think reasonably. If Jeanetta's audio clip is not right, if she changed stuff up, if she decoded it, overlaid it, whatever you want to call it, whatever they do, if she scratched it up, mixed it up, rubbed it down, and oh no, if she did all of that to that audio clip, why nobody that also has the tools and the skills had came out and said that Jeanetta was wrong? Because her enhanced version is right. So shout out to you, Jeanetta and Willie D, for getting her to your channel. Now, yesterday, when I initially was going to come on, Willie D had also, yesterday morning, had mentioned her name and was upset that Nancy Grace has it. And this is how we finna segue into Nancy Grace. Willie D yesterday had reported that he thought that Nancy Grace hasn't reached out to her to bring her onto her show like Brandon Tatum, right? Well, in the interview today, Jeanetta has confirmed that Nancy Grace and her team has reached out to her, and she has been invited to speak on Nancy Grace. So I'm still not gonna give Nancy Grace no credit for that, because she's supposed to be doing it anyway, until Nancy Grace sit up on that same platform and say, I apologize for jumping to conclusions regarding Karmelo Anthony and everything that I said about Karmelo Anthony. Forgive me to the parents of the Anthony family. I jumped too fast. I also wish that I even want her to say to the Karmelo Anthony family, I support the motion for John Roach to be recused, and I support the motion for a new trial. Until she says that, I'm giving her no credit, because I feel like, once again, the only reason she's inviting Jeanetta to her platform is to seem like she's fair, right? And to balance out her bad karma. I'm going to say what I said. Come on to the stage, Nancy Grace. Let me go ahead and get this over with. Let me go ahead and get this with. Come on to the stage, and shout out to Street Life Stars for this recent interview with Jaguar, where she talked about the Karmelo Anthony family and also Nolan Wells. Thank you, Jaguar, for speaking up for both of these young men. Now come on to the stage.
Rats. Okay. Let me just remind everyone
And matter of fact, let me remind everyone, this is almost exactly shortly after the guilty verdict. The guilty verdict was given to Karmelo Anthony. He was sentenced in the same day and transported the very next day. All right, come on to the stage. Now, I've set the baseline, and this is out of order of the interview, right? Out of order. So let's go and listen to see exactly what they said.
Your son, your twin boy, was stabbed through the heart with a piercing stab that not only punctured his heart, but was so brutal, so vicious, it went all the way into Austin's bone.
Pause. That is a straight up lie. Now, when Tony Talks vested up, how do you know that that is a lie? I know that is a lie because remember we brought up the medical white form. While she's talking, I go look for it. But there's nothing that said on that medical form, medical examiner form that we brought up that was part of the state exhibit. What was that, 58? It said none of that in there. And how do we know? And matter of fact, how does she know? How does she know? Because from what I heard, and now after the fact, they didn't even bring, Collins County Medical Examiner didn't even bring the official autopsy to the court, and they didn't bring the official toxicology report to the court as exhibits. None of that. So how does she know? How does she know this? How does she know this? When the medical examiner didn't even bring the autopsy to court. How does she know this? Let's keep going.
In his chest. There was no way he could survive, even though his twin brother.
Look at Jeff.
Tried and tried there in the rain under that tent to save Austin's life.
Stop again. That is all a lie. Austin was not in the stands. Let's remind you, because like I said, in 17 days, Karmelo Anthony will be going in front of a judge, in 18 days, going in front of a judge for a new trial, motion for a new trial. Now, if he's going to be there for the motion to a new judge, I don't know. We shall see. But just know, do y'all see everything that they have pandered to their audience? All of these lies. Hunter was not even in Hunter Metcalf. There is no proof that Hunter Metcalf was in those stands trying to save the life of his brother.
On that body cam, you can hear the twin screaming, praying, screaming all at once.
Well, that part I do believe.
Trying to save his brother's life. And somehow you're getting death threats. Explain.
I wish I had an explanation for it. I really don't understand. I mean, I understand people can be upset about the verdict and it didn't go the way they wanted to. But, it was a fair trial. And now they're claiming it's not. And
he said it was a fair trial. He said it was a fair trial. Hold on. He said it was a fair trial. Does all of this look like a fair trial? He said all of this was a fair trial. Let me go ahead. He said all of this was a fair trial. Let me go here. He said all of this was a fair trial, right? He said the Mike Howard's affidavit indicated a fair trial. I said, no, it didn't. Did you see this right here, what this man just said? Did you see what he said?
I understand they're going to look for any avenue they hope and pray that they could get an appeal. I understand it's due process. They're entitled to it. I really don't. I think the judge did a good job of keeping everything under control and in order, and all procedures were followed correctly.
Take in consideration that secret gentleman's agreement that John Roach knew about. John Roach knew about that secret agreement. Let me play it some more and I'm gonna pull it up.
So, they're entitled to an appeal. I honestly don't think it will be granted, but that's the way the system works. And the system also works by being convicted of murder also. So
Now, that's important, Mr. Metcalf.
I'm sorry,
You
go ahead.
stated convicted of murder. He was not convicted of manslaughter. He was not convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The jury knew about those possibilities. He was convicted in first-degree murder. And I want to clarify something that we have heard over and over and over, that this was an all-white jury.
Let's talk about it.
It was not. That
Hey, let me tell you one thing. White America, let me tell you what, to the Asians, to the Middle Easterns, to the Latinos, anybody that come over here and think that when you put white on your application for your driver's license, for your social security card, for your children's social security card, birth certificate, you may mark white. But let's hear how the white community look at you out of their own mouth. You got one white woman and one white man that's about to say that all the Asians, they are not white. All the Middle Easterns, they are not white. The Latinos, you are not white. They're telling you in your face, but yet again, you decide to go against the black community. Come on to the stage, Nancy and Jeff.
is
Correct.
a lie. There
Yes, ma'am.
were Asian jurors.
Not
there
white.
were, I believe, this off the top of my head, 3 Hispanic jurors.
Not white.
There were jurors that were
Middle
from
Eastern.
Middle East descent.
Not
Yes.
white.
I mean, those are not white jurors. This jury
ma'am.
pool, and I'm referring to the Pettit jury,
And Jeff said, no, ma'am. All the communities that go against the black community, you need to put a mirror up to yourself. The joke is on you. The joke is on you. All of the racist things that you spur at the black community, the joke is on you. You're actually doing the job of, how can I say, the racist. And the joke is on you. They don't even see you who you think you are. They don't even see you as white, yet you classify yourself as white, and you just had a white woman, prominent white woman, and the devil himself, one of the devils himself say, you're not white. Let's keep going.
Pettit jury, not the pool of 200 that you bring in to strike the jury. The Pettit jury is the 12 jurors and the alternates. In
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Pettit jury, there were Hispanics, Asians, and people of Middle Eastern descent. So why is it just so convenient for people to say it was an all-white jury, it wasn't fair? That is not true.
Well, Nancy and Jill, let me go ahead and answer that question for you. The reason why we said that it was an all-white jury is because these communities, they consider themselves white. They consider themselves white. That's why we said it was an all-white jury. And when you don't have a melanated woman, a man on that stand, and then you have already cast aside and struck down, that is the legal term, struck down a particular jury. Matter of fact, they struck down 3 black educators because it was the state that said that they believed they couldn't be biased. Yet they let a white, I think it was 1 white or 2 white educators on the jury. Guess what? Bill Whiskey, you got another answer to that. In the motion for a new trial, you should be able to answer to that. You should have to answer to that. Let's keep going. I ain't trying to keep y'all all night.
They need a narrative to spin. I mean, they're hanging on for dear life at the end of the rope, and they're running out of time, and they're running out of things to say, and they're desperate.
I was stunned. I don't know if you were, Mr. Metcalf, when the defense did not put the defendant on the stand.
Look at this.
Because in every self-defense case I have ever prosecuted or investigated, you really have to hear from the defendant.
Y'all listen to
You
this.
have to hear their side. Nobody
Y'all listen
can.
to this.
Self-defense is when you, the defendant, are in immediate fear of serious physical, bodily harm,
migraines
or
every
death.
year.
Immediate
Experts say
fear
track your symptoms, stay hydrated,
that you're going to
get
die.
regular sleep,
It is a commercial in the background. Just get past that. Get past that.
and talk to a doctor if they persist.
over 100 death threats. Okay, let me just...
Okay, so that was the end of that. Hold on, let me go in and share my screen. For everybody that don't know nothing about this secret agreement, let me go in and take them to class real quick. Let me go ahead and remind everybody, if you've seen it, let me go ahead and remind you here. Let me go ahead and remind you here. You see this right here? This is the official appeal packet. Now, y'all, I'm going to say this. Guess what? I tried to search for this thing again online. Was it last night when I was prepping for this? And thank God I downloaded this. I'm not going to say that it's not out there anymore, but I would put it like this. In 5 minutes of searching for it, I couldn't find it online anymore. Why is that? But hey, maybe that was human error. Maybe that was just me overlooking it, right? But within 5 minutes, I couldn't find it no more online. Why is that? Why is that? Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. In paragraph 115 of Karmelo Anthony, defendant's motion for a new trial, in brief, in support, look, the repudiation coerce the defendant's decision not to testify. Not to testify. Now, this right here is not even part of Mike Howard's affidavit. Look at this, paragraph 115. The repudiation coerce the defendant's decision not to testify. Oh, okay. Let's go let's see here. Let me go to hold on. Let me go ahead and go down here. The Mike Howard's affidavit, exhibit 8. Okay, I'm almost there. These are these exhibits. Let's not forget about these exhibits. Here we go. Mike Howard's affidavit. Look at this right here. Affidavit of trial counsel, Mike Howard signed and notarized. And we looked at the date of this. This was a Sunday. This was the 5th of July on a Sunday that Mike Howard went to, I forgot his name at the bottom, and got it signed and notarized. Look at this right here. This is Mike Howard, affidavit of Mike Howard. Mike Howard said this. That's why I said I believe that Mike Howard on Karmelo Anthony, the 20th of August, we're talking about exactly 18 days from there, Mike Howard should be called to the stand to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Call him to the stand and see if he'll stand on his own affidavit. Mike Howard said, I, Mike Howard, at least 18 years old of a sound mind, and I am competent and qualified to make this affidavit. I have personal knowledge of the facts stated within, and they are true and correct. And then he said, I declare that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Mike Howard wrote 30 paragraphs in his affidavit. So for anybody that's watching behind the scenes and you say that Mike Howard's affidavit is trash, why would he take the time to write up 29 detailed paragraphs? Because number 30 is his signature. That's where he put his signature at. But let's go here. Let me tell you one thing. Here you go. Hold on. Here you go. Okay, hold on. Let me see right here. Where am I looking at? To see right here. Hold on. I want to get to Mike Howard's affidavit. Hold on. I want to stay right here in this affidavit. Testify. Let me go back to 10. Exhibit 9. Hold on. I got something for y'all. For this is all of my Vestas here. I did this for you since I couldn't get online last night. Here we go. Paragraph 2. This is a summary of paragraph 2, his role in the case. Paragraph 3. He brought up some of the same verbiage that was used in the trial itself. Use a clean case. Brought up the agreement and the opposed agreement between the state judge and the defense right here. On 4 is the proposed agreement, right? Look at these dates. Look at this date right here. May the 5th, exactly 1 month before the trial, they decide on this agreement. You know why? You know why they decided on an agreement behind the scenes is because based off the evidence and based off Karmelo Anthony's reputation, his accolades, they couldn't let this young black man walk off not guilty. Come on with it. Paragraph 5. This is where it talked about the racism, the arrest record of both the twins, right? Of the twins, eyewitnesses, and not calling experts. Not calling experts. And look at this here. I wish I could highlight this. Just try the case based on what happened to 10. Nothing more, nothing less. Why would they lock it down like that? Let's see here. Hold one. Kicking in the door. Oh, listen, they stated that if the defense called experts to testify regarding Mr. Anthony's, my family deal with this, right? Epilepsy, or about a flight or fight response, they consider expert testimony like that to violate the agreement and thus open the door to character, reputation, and extraneous offenses and act evidence. For people that never seen this document, this is what they agreed upon behind the scenes. Karmelo Anthony defense team agreed to not even call experts to even testify on for Karmelo Anthony mental state and the physical disabilities he had. All right, number 6, agreement to extend to citizen. So y'all remember when the not guilty boys had talked about, and also Mr. Brian Rice that I used to bring up a lot on Court TV when he said he's surprised that the defense attorney didn't even prepare for punishment phase. Remember that, the punishment phase where they also can bring in witnesses, 20, 30, 50 witnesses, however many witnesses they wanted to testify to on Karmelo Anthony's behalf to get a lower sentence. They even locked it down like that. Nah, the expert witnesses cannot even be called because it's going to interfere. It's going to interfere with them 35 years that John Roach already knew that he was going to give that young man. Paragraph 6. Paragraph 7. Here we go. Paragraph 7 is John Roach knew about the agreement. Look at this. Read the first line. On May 21st, 2026, the defense and the prosecution teams met with John Roach in his chambers. During the meeting, both sides explained the agreement to the judge, describing it again as both sides agreeing to not go into character, reputation, or extraneous evidence as it applies to both sides doing both the guilty / innocent and sentencing phase, as long as no doors of open or false impressions are given, y'all. John Roach knew about this. That's why the motion to recuse John Roach, it should definitely be granted. Whoever's looking over that motion, which is going to be Sid El Harrell, he should take this affidavit in consideration. Mike Howard should appear on the 19th and the 20th to support the motion to recuse John Roach and also to support the motion for a new trial. 7. John Roach knew about this. 8. Agreement covers testifying witnesses. Number 9. Witnesses are not available on Saturday. Once again, number 10, just a summary of this. They're talking about witnesses that won't be available on Saturday once again, and how he was trying to propose a different schedule to John Roach, but John Roach wouldn't budge. He wouldn't budge. Not even on a Saturday. Who hold court on a Saturday? Collins County did. Let's keep going. Number 10, number 11, updates on the prosecution resting the case on number 11. 12. First mention of Karmelo Anthony testifying. Let me find this right here. Also for 12, where does it say right here? I think this is the one. This repeat discussion of Torres and how it may apply to the trial shows that Mr. Wiki was well aware of at least the possibility of Mr. Anthony testifying in order to argue self-defense. So Nancy Grace and Jeff Calf, you knew this too. Nancy Grace, 99% Karmelo Anthony was going to testify. But they had a mental trick up their sleeve. Hold on. Also here. Furthermore, any competent, this is what Mike Howard said. Furthermore, near the bottom, probably the 5th or 6th sentence up from the bottom. Furthermore, any competent criminal trial lawyer knows that self-defense argument has to have any success of exceeding, the defendant must testify. For all of these reasons, the defendant always stood the agreement to include Mr. Anthony's testimony free of impeachment by character, reputation, and extraneous offense, bad act evidence, just like every other witness either side could call to testify about what happened under the tent. Let me keep going. Hold on. Number 13 summarizes cross-examination of witness regarding the Metcalfs being bullies, their violence, their racism, the twins being triggered, having a loud mouth, and being passionate. It's right here on the screen. I pause. I'll let you read this. So it was some witnesses that was going to testify against the Metcalfs brothers, both of them. But the state and the prosecution can have that, right? Right, Bill Whiskey? Right. Okay. Number 15 says Mike Howard, at this point, Mike Howard, before it even was executed, Mike Howard said, okay, well, if the prosecution don't call these witnesses, I'm going to call these witnesses. This is when he talked about them as calling them as hostile witness. So I don't know what happened behind the scenes, Mike Howard, because it even seems by paragraph 15, you still was trying to put up a fight. Even though you had agreed to this devil's deal, you still was trying to put up a fight. So whatever they had over you, I don't know what it is, but I still see where you were still trying to put up a fight. Let's keep going. Number 16, the defense didn't call any hostile witnesses, nor the forensics. Go to the bottom of the page right here, the second line. Mr. Anthony's epilepsy impacted his perception of threat and response, as that is relevant to self-defense. And the forensics psychologist to discuss both brain development of a 17-year-old as well as fight or flight respond as it applied to Mr. Anthony's actions. Can't call him. Furthermore, let's go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, round of 6, 7. Furthermore, because of the prosecution made it clear, very clear, he said very clear, that the defense calling any psychology related expert would open the door to character, reputation, and extra evidence pertaining to Karmelo. Let me tell you one thing, Mike Howard. The agreement, if this was the case, you said it would. No, forget that. No, this agreement should have never even happened. Matter of fact, we went over that in the live. This right here was illegal, unlawful, and unethical on what happened behind Collins County. But they said, Jeff Metcalf just say that everything regarding the trial was right. Hold on. I'm almost done with my outline. Hold on. Going down to number 17. It says, now this is what Mike Howard says. He says, without this agreement, the defense would have went into exploring these subjects, but because of this agreement, he said the defense did not go into these subjects doing devour and opening statements. Without such an agreement, the defense would have explored these subjects doing opening statement and would have introduced these topics doing opening statement. Mike Howard couldn't even mention Karmelo Anthony disability in opening statement. All right. Number 18. Defense, look at this, right? This is where it's talking about Karmelo Anthony's mother. Defense limited available character witness to 3 questions. And who that? Furthermore, in reliance upon the agreement, the defense severely limited its available character witnesses to just 3 questions of Mr. Anthony's mother. So for everybody that's saying that, oh, the transcribe, the case record, it disputes, it conflicts with Mike Howard's affidavit, I bet this doesn't. I bet this is proof that it doesn't. I bet it's proof that it doesn't, because the trial happened June 4th, 5th, 6th, and the 8th. He was found guilty on the 9th. Mike Howard didn't sign this until July the 5th. That lady was limited to only being asked 3 questions. Matter of fact, even Jeff Metcalf is gonna confirm that she only said 3 sentences. Let's keep going. I ain't gonna hold you long. 20 talked about, 19 lists the actual witnesses that the defense was going to call. Okay, 20, the defense was going to call 2 more witnesses, and this witness here, we don't know who exactly was redacted from this. We don't know. Number 21, it was 2 20s, 20, and 20. The second 20, this is when Mike Howard said that he was going to call to the stands Centennial High School coach, what his name was. Is it in here? It's not in here. That he was going to call to Centennial High School coach, Mr. Wilkie, asked what the coach would testify to that didn't pertain to Mr. Anthony's character. They didn't even want his coach to even testify. I explained that this coach had witnessed Mr. Anthony's seizures so that he would testify about Mr. Anthony epilepsy based on his personal knowledge, y'all. Listen, this is important because I'm finna play a clip where Bill Whiskey on Nancy Fox, on Nancy Gray, said that he don't understand why Karmelo Anthony didn't testify, and he wished that Karmelo Anthony testify. Do y'all see how egregious this was? Mr. Wiki then argued that testimony about epilepsy was irrelevant, and at guilty, innocent, and to the extent was relevant, would open the door to character, reputation, and extraneous evidence against Mr. Anthony, right? In plain terms, it would reach an agreement. Kid gracious. Let's keep going. All right, 21. This is when the detective got up on the stand, right? Now, I think it was the defense that called Detective Riley to testify, but I can't say for sure. But number 21 discussed Detective Riley to testify. Number 22, once again, talking about, this is where the prosecution and the defense started getting a little back and forth and started getting agitated behind the scenes, because Mr. Wiki, at this time, he realized he may have been afraid that, oh my gosh, what if somebody remember that Mike Howard mentioned something about Karmelo Anthony playing chess in the opening statement. So number 2, all about this is saying he also repeated that the claim that I already violated the agreement during opening statement by saying Mr. Anthony was a member of the chess club. Does that sound like somebody that would commit homicide? Karmelo Anthony was a member of the chess club. See, they didn't want that information out there. Even though the media was not allowed in the courtroom, they had 27 seats that the public, 27 seats that the public could come down and sit in, besides the media that was in there and besides the family for both sides. 27 people would have took that information, went outside and said, does this sound like a murderer? Karmelo Anthony was a member of the chess. See, I could have ate this up too. Oh, as a defense attorney, if I was able, first of all, I wouldn't sign no deal like this, but even Mike Howard, I don't care if it violated the agreement. When you got his mother up on the stands, you could have changed your mind, just like the state prosecution changed their mind. You could have got up on the stand and changed your mind and let it out. Ask any question. What they was gonna do? Hold you in contempt for an agreement that was not on the record? Even he said this agreement was not on the record. It couldn't be on the record because it was illegal. Mike Howard, you still could have switched up, did what you wanted to do to save your client Karmelo Anthony. But thank God you did write this affidavit, right? Let's keep going. I'm almost done. Number 23. Oh, y'all want to see this. Hey, to the haters in the room, you definitely want to see this. 23 of Mike Howard's affidavit. Here we go. The prosecution repeated their position that it did not, and that if we call Mr. Anthony to testify, character, reputation, and extraneous evidence pertaining to Mr. Anthony were in play. Furthermore, here we go. Mr. Wilkie stated, now this is the DA, this is the prosecutor, stated that at that time, the prosecution had already arrested character, reputation, extraneous evidence pertaining to Austin and Hunter Metcalf was not relevant. Watch this next sentence. When Mr. Shook and I mentioned the ambiguous aggressor rule from Torres, Mr. Wilkie argued that Torres did not apply because it was not ambiguous who the first aggressor was. This is the prosecution talking. The first aggressor was clearly Austin Metcalf. So Nancy Grace, it's funny that you and your team, when this information came out on the 9th of July, why you didn't do a follow-up? Why didn't you and your team get back on your platform and look just as hideous as you always look and say that you are upset because you felt like you was used by Jeff Metcalf? Oh, Nancy Grace, did you get out of here? Did I miss that Nancy Grace came out and apologized to the Karmelo Anthony family? Nancy Grace, do you know this document exists? And if you do know it exists, you are disgraceful. Everybody know this document exists. I know somebody at your level should know that this document exists. Is it a reason why you did not come back on your platform to even address this affidavit? Because even right here in paragraph number 23, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4th line. Once again, let me read it again for the algorithm. When Mr. Shook and I mentioned the ambiguous aggressor rule from Texas, Mr. Wilkie, the prosecutor on the case, argued that Torres did not apply because it was not ambiguous who the first aggressor was. The first aggressor was clearly Austin Metcalf. Let's keep going. At this point, the discussion devolved into a shouting match. This is when Mike Howard knew, oh my gosh, I've been had. Oh, Mike Howard woke up at this moment. He said, oh, I've been had. I wonder what Mike Howard's mental state was at that time when he realized even the prosecution know that Austin Metcalf was the primary aggressor. Oh, Mike Howard must have been bitter behind the scenes. Let's go. 24, paragraph 24. It just talks about the cooling period, the 10-minute cooling period. Let me go back to my notes. It talks about the 10 minutes to cool down. Mr. Wilkie going over, open the door. Number 25. By now, by here, I would have just started singing. This is what I said. If I was Mike Howard by paragraph 25, the way that he was writing and discussing everything, I would have been singing like a jaybird in the court. Oh, I would have pulled everybody back up on the stands. Mike Howard, you know, you could have brought them back to the stand, right? If you haven't did your closing arguments and the prosecution hadn't did their closing argument, you said, I want to recall Karmelo Anthony. Ma'am, do you swear to tell the whole truth, Nothing but the truth, so help you God. I'm pretty sure Kayla would have got back on that stand. And he would have said, Kayla, the reason I call you back on the stand is because I want the judge and the jury and the state to know exactly who your son is. At this time, Bill Whiskey would have stood up. Objection. Objection to who? Judge Roach. Objection to what? Judge Roach would have been in one of the tightest, the tightest predicaments in his life, because he know, even Judge Roach said he couldn't, what did he say about this agreement? He couldn't enforce it. He couldn't enforce it, but he knew about it. Oh, Mike Howard. Oh, Mike Howard. You could have threw a monkey wrench in this whole entire thing when you saw that the prosecution had slipped you one. Let's keep going. Oh, Mike Howard. But thank you again for this affidavit. Thank you again for this affidavit. Number 26, Judge Roach sentence. Oh, here you go. Judge Roach. Let me read this right here about John Roach. Sentence about Karmelo Anthony not testifying, y'all. Here we go. Go to the third. Okay, here we go. Go to the third line. Furthermore, John Roach informed us that he saw no way for Mr. Anthony to testify without the door being open. So Nancy Grace, all you had to do was to continue up with the updates on the case. Somebody from your team would have said, Nancy, we got updates. Nancy, you may want to see this affidavit. This is why Karmelo Anthony didn't testify. The state didn't want him to testify. Even the judge, it says right here. Furthermore, Judge Roach informed us that he saw no way for Mr. Anthony to testify without the door being open. For example, if he said that he brought a knife by accident or said that he was scared, etc., that this would almost certainly open the door to character, reputation, and extra evidence of a sort. To clarify the issue, I proposed a hypothetical scenario that if Mr. Wiki claimed that the agreement had been breached in some way, and if I and even the judge felt that Mr. Wiki was operating in bad faith, that the judge stating that he couldn't enforce the agreement would have to make a ruling based on the Texas rules of evidence alone. Oh, Mike Howard, I'm going to give it to him. Mike Howard slapped them right here, because the evidence alone, that would have, that 9 times out of 10, just on the evidence alone, because we saw the grainy, distorted video. We saw the clothes that didn't have no blood in it. We didn't see nothing in the state's evidence that said that Karmelo Anthony intended to hurt anyone. Do y'all see where I'm going? John Roach confirmed that this was the case. Then we broke to discuss the issue with our client. Listen to this. To all of you distractors out there, Mike Howard, the defense attorney, why would Mike Howard have any reason to lie when he's a defense attorney of Karmelo Anthony? Judge Roach gave us approximately 10 minutes only to explain the breakdown of the agreement and the proposed resolution with our client before the judge brought Mr. Anthony in for an on-the-record admonishment. 27, he talks about the meeting with Mr. Anthony and his parents. Look at this. Even Mike Howard said, look at it. John Roach, this is 1, 2, 3, the fourth sentence. John Roach believed that he had no mechanism. Mike Howard, when a Judge Roach said that, you should have threw this whole agreement to the side and went loose in the courtroom. He said, Judge Roach believed he had no mechanism to enforce the agreement between the parties and would rule on the rules of evidence alone as to whether the door had been open. John Roach then gave us 10 minutes to discuss the Fifth Amendment rights with Mr. Anthony and help him ultimately decide whether he should testify. 10 minutes. You're going into a room with a young man who was already prepared to testify. And then you come in there and say, Karmelo, I only have 10 minutes to discuss this with you. It's been some changes, and these are the pros and the cons of you testifying. Oh my gosh. You expect for a 19-year-old to be able to mentally comprehend what is set ahead of him when even his defense attorney said that Karmelo Anthony was prepared to testify. I asked for additional time to have such as a complicated discussion with a 19-year-old in the most stressful situation in his life, but John Roach declined to extend our time beyond 10 minutes. You got some adults in 10 minutes that can't even solve complicated math problems. You have some adults older than 19-year-old that can't get through a paragraph without comprehending exactly what is asking for on a AST question. But you want us to believe, John Roach want us to believe that 10 minutes was enough for Mike Howard to explain Karmelo Anthony options regarding his own life in a moment like this. John Roach, you say you was proud of the outcome of the trial. John Roach, when you made that interview with WFAA, just you looking at you again in that smirk and that gleeful that you had in your eye, and you were so proud of the verdict. John Roach, your business has gotten out here on Front Street. You gave them 10 minutes to discuss this, and then you even know about this unethical, unlawful, illegal deal behind the scenes, and you said that you're proud of the verdict of the trial. Listen, 17 to 18 more days. Karmelo Anthony, motion to get the John Roach recused will happen on the 19th of August. Motion for a new trial on the 20th of August. Let's keep going. 28. This BS right here. Mr. Wiki, he must have got upset because they was arguing back and forth. Look at this. Look at it. Look. Mr. Wiki in number 28, he's fighting back and forth regarding Mike Howard's about bringing in the chest. Even he said based on his action and claims, specifically he repeated his assertions. Even after the judge had firmly disagreed that I had opened the door by mentioning chess, as well as his general claim that the agreement was never complicated, Mr. Anthony testifying, the defense team felt strong that the risk of Mr. Whiskey claiming that the door had been opened was too high. What in the hell was going on behind the scenes? I'm like the not guilty boys. What was going on behind the scenes? What was going on behind the scenes? 29. Ultimately, Mr. Anthony chose not to testify. He was persuaded not to testify. That young boy was scared up not to testify. That young man was influenced not to testify. 10 minutes. This 180-degree change in the defense strategy was a direct consequence of the breach of the agreement. The breach of the agreement affected all aspects of the defense case. And I rest my case. Come on back up to the stage.
Everyone, you're the victim. Your son, your twin boy, was stabbed through the heart with a piercing stab that not only convicted of manslaughter, he was not convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The jury.
Now listen, I already read to you what it was talking about, self-defense. Now let's play that.
Knew about those possibilities. He was convicted in first-degree murder. And I want to clarify something that we have heard over and over and over, that this was an all-white jury.
We already went through that.
They need a narrative to spin.
Jury is the 12 jurors and the alternates.
Run out of things to say, and they're desperate.
I was stunned. I don't know if you were, Mr. Metcalf, when the defense did not put the defendant on the stand, because in every self-defense case I have ever prosecuted or investigated, you really have to hear from the defendant. You have to hear their side. Nobody can. Self-defense is when you, the defendant, are in immediate fear of serious physical, bodily harm
migraines
or
every
death.
year.
Immediate
Experts say to
fear
track your symptoms, stay hydrated,
that you're going to
get
die.
regular sleep, and talk to a doctor if they persist.
Hold on. Here we go.
There were a total of 18 jurors, including alternates. And on that jury pool, there were 6 minorities. So of the 18, okay, all included 6 minorities on the jury.
You're right, Dave Mack. 8.
But he didn't say they were black, did he? He didn't say they were black, right? Let's keep
18
going.
jurors, including alternates, 6 non-white, consisting of 3 Hispanics of Middle Eastern descent and Asian. 1/3 of the petit jury pool, 1/3, 33.3% non-white. Okay, that's one fallacy. The other fallacy is about the sentencing. Mr. Metcalf, isn't it true Karmelo Anthony could have been sentenced up to 99 years behind bars, but he got 35?
And eligible for parole after 17 and a half. I mean, he could still be out by 40.
And a lot of times in self-defense cases, the conventional wisdom is,
Oh, the one at the bottom talking, that is Bill Whiskey. So listen to what he said about Karmelo Anthony. He wished that Karmelo Anthony would have took the stage. Now, I just read to you what the agreement was here. Listen to this.
you're not going to win on self-defense unless you call your client. So I was hoping he would take the stand. I was hoping jurors in our community would get to hear whatever story he chose to tell. But
And did Karmelo want to?
Let me rewind.
cases, the
90.
Now, mind you, I just read Mike Howard's affidavit several times that Bill Whiskey and the judge said that it wouldn't be right for Karmelo Anthony to testify, that it would violate the agreement, right? Listen to what Bill Whiskey, now the bald-headed guy at the bottom that's talking. Look what he said.
9 years behind bars, but he got 35.
And eligible for parole after 17 and a half. I mean, he could still be out by 40.
And a lot of times in self-defense cases, the conventional wisdom is you're not going to win on self-defense unless you call your client. So I was hoping he would take the stand. I was hoping jurors in our community would get to hear whatever story he chose to tell. But
And did Karmelo want to testify in his own on his own behalf? And was
It was based on everything. It didn't need nothing because everything they said, when it's self-defense, they have to prove it. They never proved it.
Do y'all hear what Mike Howard told his parents? Even I was confused on what they said right there. Mike Howard did one number behind the scenes of one of the greatest injustices from a defense attorney ever in history. But I will give him credit. Now, Nancy Grace, I will give him credit because within 30 days, he wrote this affidavit that told it all. Let's see what else is on this one. This is almost done.
That
right
is from our friends at Fox News and the Breakfast Club. The parents, and I get it, their t-shirt says, believe Karmelo. They want desperately to believe their son. I would want to believe my son. I would believe my son, but the son never took the stand, ever. So there was no.
Nancy, once again, Karmelo Anthony was defense attorney was convinced to convince Karmelo Anthony not to take the stand. Even the judge wrote, we already went through the affidavit. Nancy Grace, you need to come out and speak and do a follow-up on the Karmelo Anthony case and this affidavit before the 19th and the 20th of August. See, because Nancy Grace, what I don't want you to do is when you get an update that John Roach has been reaccused because of his actions in the courtroom before the trial, during the trial, after the trial, I don't want you to get in your panties because he's been accused. And then I don't want you to get in your panties that Karmelo Anthony has been granted a new trial and may be released. Because we went over that. Karmelo Anthony new legal team has the right to request the judge to release him at that time because the old verdict will be thrown out. Nancy Grace, I don't want you to get back on your platform looking distraught and you saying you don't understand what's going on because I'm throwing you an alley hoop. You got 17, 18 more days, 19, 17, 18 more days to understand that this affidavit is out here, because you're going to have to go to your audience, Nancy. Your audience is going to come to you, Nancy Grace, and try to get an understanding on what happened on this case. Nancy Grace, if she don't, she's going to be unprepared, and she's going to be with her more than what she is now. Come on with it.
Nothing to believe. I want to go back to being in the courtroom. I want to go back to when Austin was killed. You stated, Mr. Metcalf, that you went to the hospital. You had...
All right. For one, this is the last segment.
In the murder of Austin, your teen boy, this is what they have to say.
Everyone actually lied on the stand.
Everyone.
All of the witnesses' statements were inconsistent. All of them.
We called about 17 eyewitnesses, and it was a very diverse group of young men and women that came into court to testify. And the jury that saw that quickly realized this case was never about race. This case was about murder, plain and simple.
That's my friends at CBS 11 and Fox. First, you were hearing Mrs. Anthony speaking, Karmelo Anthony's mother. She's sitting there along with Mr. Anthony. And you know what, Mr.
No. Let me tell you another thing that the media does. You see how young these photos are. These are not current photos of the Metcalf twins. Not one time do you really see the size of Austin Metcalf, because even his mother said he was 230 pounds. This is what you call visual manipulation. All these pictures that you're seeing of Austin, visual manipulation. See, they're playing these particular photos right here to tug at the hearts of the people that is ignorant about actually the size of Austin Metcalf. So just keep this in mind while these pictures go.
Metcalf, I get it. Let me see Mr. Metcalf, please. Mr. Metcalf, I swear to you, if the angel Gabriel came down from heaven and told me to my face that my son or my daughter, my twins, had committed murder, I would say, you are a liar. You're lying. I wouldn't believe it because I don't want to believe it. So I understand where the parents are coming from. I get it. She says, but that is actually a phrase, an argument that I would argue in closing arguments until I was blue in the face. Do you believe that every one of the state's witnesses are lying? All of them are lying, and he is the only one telling the truth? Does that make sense to you? No, because it's not true. But that is what the Anthony...
Now, why is she doing all the talk? Look at Jeff's face. Y'all, look at Jeff's face. Let me go back. Look at Jeff's face throughout this whole entire time. Look how Jeff is
argument
looking.
That I would argue in closing arguments until I was blue in the face. Do you believe that every one of the state's witnesses are lying? All of them are lying, and he is the only one telling the truth? Does that make sense to you? No,
his face.
Because it's not true. But that is what the Anthony family, they truly believe, that all the witnesses lied. You were there, you were in court, gavel to gavel. What did the witnesses tell the jury under oath?
Well, when she talks about discrepancies, there were some as far as the total exact recall of every detail, but every single witness said he was the aggressor. He was asked to leave multiple times.
Yes.
One witness even testified, a couple of witnesses testified they even heard Austin tell him, "Hey, I don't want to fight you, man, at a track meet." And I understand, because grief has many different stages, and denial is one of those stages. And I think that's where they're living in right now. I think it would be hard to accept the fact that your son is going to prison.
And Metcalf, Jeff Metcalf, Hunter Metcalf, Megan Metcalf, What is your mental state now? Just knowing that Karmelo Anthony, in 18 days, his motion for a new trial will be granted. What is your mental state? Because now you know all hell has broken loose in Collins County. When Mike Howard put this affidavit, no wonder the Metcalfs have been quiet. Have y'all heard from anybody in Collins County since the 9th of July? It's been hush, hush because of this affidavit here. Come on, Jeff, keep on talking. Keep on talking.
I understand it, but you also have to understand and show they haven't shown any accountability or remorse. And that's what I have an issue with. It's always playing the victim on their side, which the true victim in this whole case is my son, Austin. He's the one who was stabbed to death in the heart with a knife by your son. So I'm sorry you're in denial, but the facts have come out. You're going to have to live with those facts, and you're going to have to live with the fact that your son is a convicted felon murderer who is sentenced to a time in prison. And that is the cold, hard truth. Now, you can hang your hat on an appeal, and I understand if I'm a parent, I would do everything possible also to try to save my son. I understand from a parental point of view. But my parental point of view is if my son did this, I would hold him accountable. I would make him apologize. I would be profusely telling the other family, I am so sorry. Is there anything I can do to help? I can't believe this happened. And that was not the reaction. It was from day one. Family members from this family.
Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Let's go right here. One more time. One more time. One more time. Metcalf, you said that Austin was the victim. Okay. Let me tell you what the prosecution said, who the prosecution identified. They didn't say Austin was the victim. They said that Austin, it was clear, was the first aggressor, was Austin Metcalf. Jeff Metcalf. Jeff Metcalf, you got up there on Nancy Grace and you said all of that, this whole entire 53-minute interview with your chest, because you didn't think that none of this was going to get out. The prosecution didn't call your son a victim. The prosecution called Austin Metcalf the first aggressor in the whole entire altercation under the tent. But let's bring him back to the stage. Let's bring him back to the stage.
He's posted a long list of just blatant lies, saying he was jumped, his phone was broken, there was a big fight. And I hate to try to paint the other side like they're trying to lie, but the truth is they all came out with a bunch of lies. Oh, it wasn't a knife, it was a cleat sharpener. Well, no, that's been debunked. My boys were actually under the tent when Karmelo walked under the tent. The boys didn't walk up on him. We were already there. And as far as the video goes, yes, I've seen the enhanced video. The whole encounter between him and Austin lasted about 12 seconds. You mean to tell me, hold on, y'all. That's why you got to get through these whole entire interviews. Jeff Metcalf just basically said he said he saw the crystal clear video, and he said the whole entire encounter lasted 12 seconds. Do y'all remember when the original 50, I call them the original 50 that saw the video before it got suppressed? They said it took maybe about 20 to 30 seconds from the time that Austin went up into the stands and confronted Karmelo. And we already saw, even with the distorted video, Karmelo Anthony was already under the tent. Jeff, you didn't know the video, even the distorted video, just proved that you are a bald-faced liar. Let me rewind that. Jeff just said the whole entire thing took 12 seconds. So when I said, hold on, the distorted video added time
to the whole entire video because they wanted to show proof that, hey, it wasn't when the Metcalf twins went up there along with their friends that something popped off immediately. They had to add time to lengthen the video just to show that an altercation was built up. Jeff Metcalf just said out of his own mouth the altercation when he walked up 12 seconds. 12 seconds. Hold on. 12 seconds. 12 seconds.
I would hold him accountable. I would make him apologize. I would be profusely telling the other family, I am so sorry. Is there anything I can do to help? I can't believe this happened. And that was not the reaction. It was from day one. Family members from this family, Kevin Hayes posted a long list of just blatant lies, saying he was jumped, his phone was broken, there was a big fight. And I hate to try to paint the other side like they're trying to lie, but the truth is they all came out with a bunch of lies. Oh, it wasn't a knife, it was a cleat sharpener. Well, no, that's been debunked. My boys were actually under the tent when Karmelo walked under the tent. The boys didn't walk up on him. We were already there. And as far as the video goes, yes, I've seen the enhanced video. The whole encounter between him and Austin lasted about 12 seconds. And you could see a push to the shoulder. Doesn't even make him take 3 steps back. It's a push. And then there's an immediate stab. Immediately. And I mean,
well, isn't it true, Mr. Metcalf, that witnesses stated, and I want to circle back to what we learned at trial, not what was said before or after, but what evidence the jury heard. Isn't it true, witnesses stated that Karmelo Anthony said, touch me and you'll see what happens? That does not sound like self-defense. That sounds like provoking. By the way, that video we're showing you is from our friends at NBC. Didn't that come out in court, or do I have it wrong?
Yes, it did come out in court, and yes, he did say that. There was also some other things, some more colorful language that he used, but I'm not gonna use that language on air. But there was other provocative gestures and words that were also used that was just basically antagonizing.
Well, here's the deal.
Wow, he said that Karmelo Anthony was using language and words to antagonize Austin. Y'all, I'm sorry. I gotta do it again. Because I'm calling this man a straight liar to his face. He said that Karmelo Anthony was using language and words to antagonize Austin, when it says right here in paragraph 23 that Mr. Wilkie stated that at this time, the prosecution had already arrested character, reputation, and extenuous evidence pertaining to Austin and Hunter Metcalf was not irrelevant. When Mr. Shook and I mentioned the ambiguous aggressor rule from Torres, Mr. Wilkie agreed that Torres did not apply because it was not ambiguous who the first aggressor was. That the first aggressor was clearly Austin Metcalf. Let's go back to Jeff Metcalf. I know at this time right here, that man is probably drinking himself underneath his house. Everything that he said in this interview, everything he said in the other interviews, everything that Hunter said in the interviews, everything that Megan Metcalf said in the interview is coming back to bite them. Let's keep going. It's almost over, y'all.
Deal, Mr. Metcalf.
Yes.
Under the law, we look at, when you have a self-defense case, the first thing you do is say, who's the aggressor? Ooh. In this case, Karmelo Anthony, now convicted of murder by a jury that is not all white, goes over to your son's tent. They're all seated. Most of them are seated under the tent. It's drizzling. I've been to a million games, a million track meets, soccer, football, you name it. It rains. And everybody just sits there. It's no big deal. It's kind of expected. You're going to get rained out. You're going to be in the rain. But Karmelo Anthony goes under your son's team tent. Nobody does that. You think
Yes, they do.
Wemby of the Spurs,
Yes, they
Wembanyama's
do.
going to go sit on the Knicks bench? No, you don't do that. No.
Jeff, you have already confirmed that you was in there from gravel to gravel. That means from the start of the trial to the end of the trial. Why you didn't say, Jeff, that it was Carmelo's Anthony best friend Eddie Para that invited him under the tent? See how Jeff is lying? See how Jeff is spinning the narrative? See how Jeff is tugging to the audience of Nancy Grace? Jeff, why you didn't say that Eddie invited Karmelo Anthony under that tent? Why are you not telling the whole truth? Nothing but the truth, so help you God. Jeff, come on, Jeff.
Nobody does that. So why would he go unprovoked, had never met your son, that was established too, goes under your son's team tent with a knife? That makes him the aggressor under the law.
No, Nancy. No, Nancy, it does not, because the prosecution has already identified Austin as the aggressor. Nancy, this is why I said you are disrespectful and you are despicable, because have y'all noticed, mostly in this part of the interview, Jeff Metcalf is not saying nothing. This is why I'm hard on Nancy Grace. Instead of letting Jeff Metcalf talk, Nancy, you committed a violation. Why are you letting your emotions dictate what you're saying regarding Karmelo Anthony? Jeff is the one that's supposed to be talking, not you. This is not your twins. And I understand why you can resonate with this case, because you is a mother of twin boys. Jeff Metcalf is the father of twin boys, but this is not your twins. And Nancy, you are wrong. You are wrong. Nancy, once again, when Mr. Shook and I mentioned the ambiguous aggressor rule from Torres, Mr. Wiki argued that Torres did not apply because it was not ambiguous who the first aggressor was. That the first aggressor was clearly Austin Metcalf. Who? I'm almost done, y'all. We got to. Let me tell you one thing, to all the distractors that may be in the room, because I see now it's almost 300 comments in here that I haven't read, and I know it's probably some distractors in the room, but you cannot deny the affidavit that Mike Howard wrote and inserted into Karmelo Anthony appeal case. You cannot. You're trying to tell me that the defense attorney, that you're gonna dispute what Karmelo Anthony, the defense attorney said what happened in the trial. Get out of here. Come on with it. Come on.
He was repeatedly asked to leave. He says, touch me and find out what happens, with his hand in his pack on the knife. Your son goes like that. He takes out a knife and stabs him in the heart. That is
assault. Assault. Even Hannah said, we went up to him. We took his book bag. Austin is the one that hit him first, assaulted him first. Nancy, you just go slide over the assault charge that Hannah and Austin, if he was here, should be getting an assault charge since they jumped that young man under that tent. Multiple assailants, doctrine rule.
what happened, according to all the witnesses. Do I have it right, Jeff?
Yes, ma'am.
Lies.
That's exactly what happened.
Do you see how he lied up there? Y'all, it's almost over. Do y'all see how Jeff Metcalf lied up there, knowing that he said in that whole entire court session for July the 4th, 5th, 6th, and the 8th? Because Sunday, thank God Roach didn't have church on Sunday, because who would go up there and have a court on Sunday? Jeff, you liar. You devil. You devil. Jeff don't got not one honest bone in his body. Finish this thing up. I'm almost done.
I mean, in Texas, there are elements you have to meet for self-defense, but if provocation is involved, and also a lot of people don't understand the law in Texas. Yes, we have the castle doctrine. Yes, we have a stand your ground doctrine. Neither of those applied in this situation if you know the law. we have a lot of armchair attorneys out in Facebook that think they know everything, which cracks me up.
Let me tell you one thing. And I promise I'm going to let this play. I only got about 1 more minute on this thing. Let me tell you one. All of us, everybody that is registered to vote in your state, if you're registered to vote any day for any trial, you could be called on the jury. For real. We're the jury. We're the people that make up the jury. So him disputing, or he's trying to degrade Facebook lawyers, YouTube lawyers, people like me. What are you talking about? People like me is the one that make up the jury. So everybody behind this scene right here, behind this camera, behind this video, I'm going to say, at least in your state, go ahead and look up the self-defense rules, homicidal laws, self-defense, assault definition. So if you get called to be on a jury and selected, at least you will have some type of basic understanding, because we see that the jury in Collins County, after they convicted him with really no evidence, do you see how incompetent they was? Let's not us be incompetent future juries on anybody's defense case.
But when you look at the law itself and apply the 5 elements of self-defense in Texas, he didn't meet those. And the jury was showed the evidence, and they determined that he was guilty. I guess there's not much more I can say other than I wish he would have testified, because the big question remains, why? And I'll be honest, once that verdict was read that he was guilty, his parents and his advocates got up and left. They left that child. For sentencing, they weren't there. She came in and read and did 2 question statement and then walked right back out, which was Kayla. And they weren't there for victim impact statements or sentencing. They left that boy by himself to sit there to hear how many years, and then to hear from our side of the family. And they weren't there. They abandoned that child. I actually felt sorry for him at that moment. I could not believe it.
Oh, Jeff, thank you so much for taking the stand, Jeff. And we already know why Kayla and Drew was not in the courtroom. We already brought that up. They were not let back into the courtroom doing sentencing. Everybody took a lunch break, an hour lunch break, and they were outscorted. When the lunch break was called, they was outscorted out of the room by a security guard. Why? I don't know. And within 30 minutes on lunch break, this is how orchestrated this whole entire Karmelo Anthony case was orchestrated, from the front to the back, even to the conviction. 30 minutes. They was called back, but not the Anthonys. Everybody reported back to the courtroom, but not the Anthonys. And Karmelo Anthony stood up and was found guilty. How could everybody be in the exact place at the right time to come back into the courtroom after 30 minutes on lunch, when it was a whole entire hour of lunch? Surprise. They ambushed the Karmelo Anthony family, his parents and everybody. And that's why Karmelo Anthony stood up while the jury read that conviction. The Karmelo Anthony family was escorted at the beginning of lunch, and they were not let back in. They didn't even know what was going on. Gotcha. Let's go.
You're on call.
Did I get anything else? I think that was it. But yeah, Nancy, just like you looking right there, I want you to come back and apologize to Karmelo Anthony and his family, because you didn't have all the information that you thought you had. But I understand why you probably haven't came back to apologize if you know about this affidavit, because your audience and us, we will humble you. And I think this is why she is speaking once again I'm going to come back full circle. I think this is why Nancy Grace is speaking up so heavily for the Nolan Wells case. Because she wants to help out the Nolan Wells family. Because she know that she helped destroy Karmelo Anthony and his parents to her audience. I give her no credit. I give her no credit. Not 1 cent of credit for what she's doing for the Karmelo Anthony family. I don't give her that. She's just trying to balance out her books of good deeds and bad deeds. That's all. Because if she want to do right, I would have more respect for you, Nancy, if you come out before the 19th of August and the 20th of August to apologize to Karmelo Anthony and his family. But you won't do that. You ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that. We already know you ain't gonna do that, Nancy. So y'all, that's it here. 1 hour and 40 minutes. Let me go ahead. 320 chats. Okay. Let me see here.
Witnesses' statements were inconsistent. All of them.
We called about 17 eyewitnesses.
That's it. Oh,
A very diverse group of young men and women that came into court to testify. And the jury that saw that quickly realized this case was never about race. This case was about murder, plain and simple.
That's my friends at CBS.
Oh, Bill Whiskey. Oh, Bill Whiskey. You didn't think that Mike Howard wasn't going to turn on you? Oh, Bill Whiskey. And Jeff, you sit up there and acted surprised why Karmelo Anthony didn't testify. Oh, Jeff. Oh, Jeff. Let's go here. I got to random select all of these right here. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay, let me see. It looks, it's a great look that Karmelo parents are staying out of public silence. It's golden and the best weapon against adversity. Your lawyers will do the work. You will be victorious, right? That's why the Metcalfs has also went underground. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Let me have to go. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. The first shall be last and the last first. Thy kingdom come, that will be done on earth. Amen, 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 amen. Free Karmelo, free Karmelo, free Karmelo Anthony. Sunday blessing, Judge Tony Investors. Hey, Pastor. Oh, gosh. I'm listening and resting tonight, and we'll put my comments later. Okay, Tano, thank you. Thank you. The righteous Tony, stay the course and keep the focus is on Karmelo and his parents. Come on, Jag. What you said in the beginning, Jag?
Come out.
What you said?
It's catching up to her. Shit.
What you said, Jag? Jaguar, what you said?
Yeah, we about to see. We about to see how it goes. In another case, Jag, we got to get your take on this Nolan Wells thing that, kind of took the media by storm in regards to a young black male.
What you said, Jag?
Hanging around.
The media by storm, and now everybody done forgot about Karmelo Anthony and that god-awful watermelon fella t-shirt.
Jag, we have stayed the course over here 54 days. Tony Talks vested up, compelling sports edge, and all the vestals. We have stayed the course for 54 days. We have not forgot about Karmelo Anthony. We will not forget about Karmelo Anthony, and we're going to stay the course just in case on the 20th that the new trial is not granted. Guess what? We already went through all of the research and the background. There is another court, a Texas court of appellate that the case we're going from if on the 20th he is not granted a new trial. But I can't see him not getting granted a new trial once you read this whole entire type of affidavit. Look, even what she said. What did she say? What did she say? She says, hold on, let me take this banner off for a second. She says, I certainly haven't seen a motion for a new trial, even in serious felony cases that goes into this level of death. Bree West, a former Dallas County assistant DA who is not involved in the case, tell Fox 4 Casey Stegall the filing is strategic in questioning the fairness of the entire proceedings. She is assistant DA. That's on the prosecution side. Even she said she ain't never seen this. Now, Velsters, if this live is ended, okay? There we go. Let me get through the comments because I hear the storm coming. Watch Metcalf come back to do the most again right before Karmelo Anthony Case. I don't think so, Mel. Not if you know that now see, because all this was before the distorted video and the affidavit. That's why they ain't said nothing. They can't say nothing. Even with that distorted video, it disproved everything that he just said on Nancy Grace. Everything that he just said on Nancy Grace got disproved because Karmelo Anthony was under that tent first. And the aggressor was Austin Metcalf. They ain't gonna say nothing. They secret is out. Free Karmelo. They secret is out. That's why I don't care about Auntie. Listen, let me tell you one thing. Auntie well. She is a disgrace. That's right. Says about Nolan, she don't really care. She don't care. It's all about viral. It's all about going viral. She don't care. I posted on her YouTube how I didn't appreciate what she said about Karmelo, and when he is free, she better apologize. Come on with it. Thank you for that. Thank you. A lot of folks were flagging their gums without facts. Come on with it. Nancy was nasty back in the day. I remember all that the question is, can she be trusted? No, she can't. She's too wishy-washy. No, y'all better not trust this lady. Yeah, listen, I used to watch Nancy when I was in high school. We're talking about, oh Lord, how many years ago? We talk about a lot of years in the OJ trial and the Michael Jackson allegations, both trials. Okay, I've been watching Nancy since 1994. The OJ trial. What was that? In the 89s? So I'm telling my age. This lady is a disgrace. Jeff definitely knew something. Come on with it. I know Nancy from Court TV. She is a hardcore white supremacist, my opinion. Yet check her court respondences from back in the day. She's an old bitter female. Yes, Bunny. Yep, Charleston does look about. He's 90 years old. She ate him up. Hold on. Let me bring this back up.
I hope somebody slaps that last eye you got out. You already deaf and dumb. It's time for your to be blind.
Jag, yeah.
Mob ties came after you. If mob ties came after you, I'd be rejoicing, not cursing. You be gone. You goofy ass taking up shit. You and that Dr. Matthews. What the fuck happened to either the both of you?
Mm-hmm.
You was over there at Karmelo Anthony's trial. Dr. Matthews show up. Yeah, we're doing this and we're doing that. And she done disappeared. Now she's your reason for being in Houston with my ties, so-called. Ain't nobody come after you. You wouldn't be much to handle. You goofball. Not get no fucking Frederick Jolly thinks you the best thing that ever happened to podcasts. I'm telling you now, bitch. I guarantee you, because I seen it in a dream. Your days are few. People are tired of you. And the government ain't gonna have much use for you because if don't nobody believe that you a snitch ass fuck by now, they should know. They sat you up there underneath that boy and his family. Them humble Louisiana folk. And you sat there and you played with their mind and you got them to trust a system you knew was gonna fuck them over. And then as soon it was, you fucking come up with that t-shirt?
Come on, Jag.
Somebody ought to bust your fucking watermelon open, bitch. You keep playing with people's kids.
Come on, Jag.
Kids you got, they might not be so safe in the future. I've got a bad habit of calling things for the future. You better slow down. You better slow down. I call it on you. I shouldn't be sharing birthdays with you much longer, bitch.
Charleston White is a
Nolan
disgrace.
Wells, you were saying.
Oh yeah.
Tater. Little taters. Would be good and shut the fuck up right now with a gag order calling that kid a drug addict. and licking white, little lily white Mississippi boy ass.
Come on, Jag.
Absolutely no, nothing for that little country family. The simple fact that they let Jake Lang carry on outside.
Oh, let me back this up right here. Let me back this up.
Stay out, and then they flipped on trial and used.
See him try to make it.
Anthony got the racial divide all stirred up, but because he was the one that protected his life against that young white man, and I do believe it was nothing more than manslaughter. I'm sick and tired of them calling that boy a murderer.
Come on, Jag.
They've done too much lying about the details for Karmelo Anthony. He deserves a new trial. Everybody's so busy talking about Nolan Wells. Ain't nobody talking about the updates anymore on Karmelo Anthony's case. Come August, there are 2 hearings that are coming. You hear that, Dr. Matthews? Are you going to be there with your camera crew trying to make people taste the ancestors? Kiss my ass. Fake revolutionaries, and you have the audacity to use Black Panther. Nigger cat. Best you'll get out of me. Updates on Karmelo Anthony.
Come on with it.
There will be a hearing to see whether or not Roach will be replaced. And I pray to God he is. And the day after that, there will be a hearing to see if he will get a new trial.
Yes.
Which I pray to God he receives.
Yeah, where do you feel the first trial went wrong? Just from you knowing the details of what you know about that trial, where did they go wrong with him getting?
They tricked that boy into not testifying on his own behalf because they promised him that all prior bad acts would stay out, and then they flipped on trial and used that agreement against him. Jury selection is where I believe things went wrong with that trial. 3 Black educators that were barred from sitting on that jury because they were afraid of bias, and replaced them with non-Black people of color who have absolutely nothing for that little country family. The simple fact that they let Jake Lang carry on outside as long as they did before he was arrested after threatening that jury to do exactly what they did. Now, it was cute, the $1 million bond. Unfortunately, they dropped it down to $250,000, which was enough money in his give, sing, go for him to bond himself out, go to California, and get his whooped at the BET Awards.
Damn.
Just in time. His bond got dropped just in the nick of time, almost like this shit is being orchestrated. The biggest problem and fault that I blame for what happened to the Anthony family is Charleston White.
Come on with it, sis.
He sat there and cozied himself up to those people, told those people to trust the process, told those people to trust the lawyers, told those people to trust the judge, told those people to trust. He sat there and used his celebrity to play all over that family, and then turn around and stabbed him in the back, and then tried to turn a profit on it.
Come on with it.
You're gonna go to hell, bitch. And I hope you end up in a burning watermelon, bitch. And I hope the devil shit in your mouth until all your eye come out.
Thank you, Jag. Thank you, sister. Thank you. She ripped Charleston White one up, and we never even thought about that. Charleston White was sent in to the Karmelo Anthony family as an op. We never considered that Charleston White was sent in to the family to reroute them to the wrong legal team. Now, according to Charleston White said he tried to tell the parents, don't go. Mike Howard's not the one. That's what he said, right? That's what he said. And we already know what Charleston White has said after the guilty verdict. So, the affidavit went out so fast, he didn't have a chance to proofread it. Paragraph 6, if I remember whom correctly. Let me go back to paragraph 6. Hold on. Okay. After the defense, or the third, fourth sentence from the bottom, after the defense asked about Anthony family members testifying at sentence, Mr. Wiki agreed that the agreement would cover Mr. Anthony's mother testifying to the standard. I love my son. Please show him mercy type of testimony, but no further. That's all she said. First of all, that's all she could say. Now, first of all, that's what she was instructed to say. That's all that she could say, and that's all that she did say. The mother. The state and the prosecution got so disrespectful that they even gave the mother a script. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. They basically told Mike Howard, who was getting paid a $300,000 to $400,000, this is what your client's mother, this is all she can say, and it bet not be nothing more and nothing less. And Mike Howard instructed Kayla to say this, y'all. And now I'm seeing that we had some fools in here. We did have some fools in here that was showing they raw ASS. I see that. I'm sorry for putting y'all through that, but I cannot restrict who comes in here. But trust me, they will not get the shine or the attention that they desire. Mike Howard is covering his own. Hey, come on with it. Hey, for whatever reason, Mike Howard did what he did, and we got it. Maybe Mike Howard would get an allowance in his court reporting skills. Listen, now looking at this again. I'm going to go back to the Vesta who said that Mike Howard was probably wearing a wire. Look how detailed this stuff is. Mike Howard, you mean to tell me Mike Howard recalled all of this from memory on the 5th, let's say the 3rd, or let's just even say the whole entire 27 days. Do y'all think that Mike Howard was wearing a wire? Look how detailed Mike Howard wrote all of these paragraphs for. Mike Howard. Thank you for this, Mike Howard. I mean, so detailed. Mike Howard. He had to be wearing something. If not, he had a recorder or something. If not, Mike Howard went down every night and wrote in a journal. I give him that credit. I give him a credit. Because Mike Howard did this one. And we did the research. This is the first time in history a defense attorney has ever done anything like this. Anything. Told on his own self. Mike Howard, listen, let me go ahead and read this right here. Throughout the trial, the defense revised its trial strategy in reliance upon the agreement. Absent the agreement, the defense intended to cross-examine each memorial student witness the prosecution called about Austin and Hunter Metcalf character and reputation for violence, bullies, and racism. The defense also intended to cross. Now, this is what Mike Howard is saying that he would have did minus the agreement. The defense also intended to cross-examine these witnesses about various statements that they made to the police. Hold on. You mean to tell me some witnesses made statements to the police that backed up Karmelo Anthony point of view? Yes. They made to the police on April the 2nd, 2025 regarding Austin and Hunter Metcalf being easily triggered, having a loud mouth, being passionate, not allowing themselves to be disrespected. Some specific examples. Austin's a really big guy. Karmelo Anthony was 130 to 160. The Austin Metcalf twins was 120 to 220 to 230. And he's kind of like an aggressive guy on the team. Austin got the same way during his altercation is the same way he got with us. Oh, you mean that this couldn't have been Austin's first time doing something like under the tent to other students? And the mellow kid, something or whatever, and then he, Austin kind of got triggered. Austin and Hunter, they're not going to let you disrespect them. And Austin, he's like a really big guy, and nobody really wants to fight him. How big is Austin? 230 pounds. And Austin really is a passionate guy. And Josie told police about Austin's history of fighting and almost getting kicked off of the football team for fighting. I've known Austin for a while, and if Austin is about to get into a fight, you can tell. Austin can be a bit aggressive at times. He has a bolder mouth sometimes. So you know what? That means that Austin is actually much aggressive than Hunter. Hunter just tried to put that on him to save face for his brother that had transpired, y'all. This is about to be good. This is about to be good. Let me go ahead and let me see here. I hear that thunder, y'all. It's about to come. That discuss what was going to do and with the railroad. Karmelo, come on with it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Free Karmelo, free Karmelo, free Karmelo, free Karmelo. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, Vestas. Love the house to you, Tony. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, the lady's baby was saved by Karmelo. Right. And she was ready to testify, but was not called. That is correct, Betty Boo. Why they didn't call her to the stands? We know why now. Now we know why that the lady of the son that Karmelo Anthony saved from drowning was not called. Love you, Tony. Just keep up the hard work. God bless you for all of you do your best. Come on with it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll take that. Facts that they didn't want Karmelo County to discuss because they were protecting Austin and Hunter's bad behavior. And did y'all see? Of course, I ain't put these comments up here, but why? Are we over here? We're talking about law in case. Why are people so upset with Tony Talks Vested Up and the Vestas for just going over the affidavit, y'all? It's something that triggers them. They're still mad that we're covering the Karmelo Anthony case for a reason, because they know this is about to get overturned. Listen, and Karmelo Anthony, you can't tell me on the 20th that his legal team is not prepared to ask the judge for him to be released until the new trial. Y'all, that happens all the time, y'all. That happens all the time. Come on with it. Free Karmelo, free Karmelo, free Karmelo. See what I'm saying? What if Hunter was the actual homicidal maniac? Y'all gonna find some stuff out. Oh Lord, they don't like the fact we talking about these Metcalfs, y'all. Ooh, what is it about these Metcalfs? They don't want us to talk about these Metcalfs when this is a national case. What is triggering them? What is triggering in them to come into Tony Talks Vested Up Compelling Sports Edge to try to offend Tony and the Vestas? What is it? We can't talk about this national case that has already found him guilty, right? So what's the issue? He's guilty, right? So what's the issue? Oh, we know what the issue is. Karmelo, come on with it. Come on with it. How does someone know how the knife miss his lungs and cut through the bone? Like I shouldn't have read Jones. Come on with it. $1 million for every day in prison. Come on with it. Come on with it. And y'all, guess what? Listen. Let me keep going. Can a knife cut through the bone? Mr. Lungs hit the heart. Just curious. Free Karmelo, free Karmelo, free Karmelo. Come on with it. At the end of the day, DA has unknown kids with contradicting testimonies and one blurred video with audio as their key evidence. Yes, that's all they got. That's all they had. And that jury, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7 people, 9, 10, 12 people said, hold on, y'all. Y'all don't see nothing wrong with this? They sat back there in chambers, back there, I forgot what they call it, for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes only. And said, okay, let's walk back outside. We saw enough. Oh, the video, that's good enough. Oh, no blood on the clothes, that's good enough. I wonder even if they questioned the lack of blood on Karmelo Anthony clothes. They said that's good enough. Oh, the witness said what? That's good enough. Oh, that's good enough. That's good enough. Let's go back. In 30 minutes, but then it took them 2 hours and a half to come up with a citizen. Now we got an issue here. We got an issue here. Nancy Grace said that, and she's a liar. Come on with it. She is that. Why she's saying it? Are you sure? I agree with you. Are you sure Jeff is competent enough to be a realtor? Come on with it. This is all a distraction while this is going on behind the scenes. Not that he didn't die, but they're trying to play us out. Okay, I see what you're talking about. You're right, Tony. Totally unethical. His defense couldn't even be called that. Damn, Tony, you scaring me now. When in trouble, call Tony. I'm here for it. Thank you, Dan Danny. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? The coach invited the twins should be charged with creating Betty. I'm pretty sure his name is Coach Jackson, right? I'm pretty sure that somebody on Karmelo Anthony coalition is writing everything up. Everybody is not focused on this case. You got this mission, you got this task. Here's the deadline for this. Trust me, they considering everything. That's why the Karmelo Anthonys are so quiet, because they know that peace is about to come knock on their door. And they son door, Karmelo Anthony, just hold on. We are in the month of August. We only have 17 days for the first motion and 18 days for the second motion. 18 days, Karmelo. 18 days, young man. Just hold on. A change is going to come. Just hold on. Come on with it. Jeff is a liar and he know what happened. Come on with it. That's why everybody talking about these two deaths. Talk down on Trump. Can't y'all see the Democratic playbook? Democratic Texas nod with a black woman doing agreeing. Oh, I gotta read that one. Okay, thank you for that. Hold on. Oh, I'm gonna bring that back to y'all tomorrow. Okay. See, we need some politicians. Now Talakara, I messed up his name, but he know who I'm talking about. Just don't use this as a lunch pad, because we're going to Texas. Y'all should hold. Once he wins, it seems like he's going to win, but it's too early. We still got 5 more months, and we already know the Republicans, they don't even want Texas AG Ken Paxton to still be in that seat past November, okay? But thank you for that. Not with a black woman doing a town hall meeting. Agree. I'm glad that Texas is bringing this up in the town hall meeting to see how these politicians, what their perspective is and opinion about the Karmelo Anthony case. This is what you do, Texas. Put them on the scene, put them on the spotlight in the town halls, because these right here would be the people that may be speaking up about your family one day. And since Jeff Metcalf was talking about the 5 elements under Texas Penal Code 9.31, the 5 elements of self-defense in Texas, reasonable belief. Yes, Karmelo Anthony believed that his life was going to be taken when he was jumped. Immediate, imminent threat. He definitely saw that. Proportionality. Karmelo Anthony, under the multi-assailant doctrine, said you can pick up any weapon of your choice and defend yourself. Not the aggressor. Karmelo Anthony was not the aggressor. We already saw that in paragraph 23. Even the prosecutor said that the first aggressor was Austin Metcalf. And number 5, no duty to retreat. Karmelo Anthony had no right to retreat. He had the right to defend himself. Come on with it, Jeff. Thank you for bringing that up, Jeff, on Nancy Grace. Looking at all of those elements, Karmelo Anthony was entitled to self-defense on April the 2nd, 2025. Come on with it. Do you ever sleep, Tony? If you Eddie was the catalyst. If he didn't call Karmelo over the tent, he wouldn't have come. It was a setup by multiple sellers. Facts 23, Nancy Disgrace. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me give me about 2 more minutes, because this storm is not playing out here. The most common They do the most in the comments ever when Karmelo and Karmelo name is just being mentioned. The right there speaks volume. God got Karmelo. Facts. All we doing is read. Listen, all I did was play the Nancy Grace interview, and I see people in the comments going crazy because we talking about an interview that Jeff Metcalf voluntarily gave Nancy Grace. Why they not upset with Nancy and Jeff, y'all? Why they got an issue with Tony Talks vested up and the Vestas? This Jeff talking. I didn't go to Nancy Grace. Come on with it. Nancy, the fall of Grace. It appeared that Nancy Grace just acts like the rest of them, allegedly. Let's see here. I'll be in Texas. Okay, to support Karmelo, I'll be taking notes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Contact me at Tony Talks Vested Up Compelling Sports Edge. Let's see here. The line for the movie margin would have hope the mental state at the moment. Auntie Nancy Disgrace. Nancy, get back in your coffin and sleep it off. You delusional. You think the intelligent ones of us think you to be trusted. We definitely don't. No. Thank you for that. Thank you. Nancy is interested in her disgrace for the truth in the Karmelo Anthony case. Hey, she's going to have to deal with that. She's going to have to deal with that. I believe all this was pre-planned with Mike's confession with Judge Roach playing the court this way. Mike was the one chose to spill all the tea. Don't y'all know this is to take down the whole judicial system? I believe the Vesta is what's right when they said that Mike Howard either was wearing a right or recorded everything to document this affidavit, because Mike Howard probably couldn't even believe it. Said, free Karmelo. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, I thought everybody had moved on from this lab. Not over here, Tony Toes vested up. The day is 54. That's how I know 54 days we've been talking about Karmelo Anthony. For the life of me, I cannot understand why Mike Howard would allow these games. This was common sense that he needed to refuse the offer and call experts. Come on with it. Thank you with it, KB Brown. KB Brown says, I can't even saw what's for dinner in 10 minutes. Come on with it, KB Brown. Thank you. Let's just put some common sense to it. With just the everyday tasks of the world. Hey, lunchtime. Okay, what am I eat? Okay. It normally takes about 10-15 minutes to even get where we're going. And they wanted Karmelo Anthony, a 19-year-old young man that's never had any disciplinary actions in his life, to determine if he's going to testify. And you know, with Mr. Shook being there, well, you know, if you testify and say the wrong thing, you can mess up your chances of being free. Don't do that. Y'all know they pressured him. As Jaguar said, he was tricked into not testifying. Come on with it. Let's see here. Did somebody threaten Howard before the trial? He seems if he was bound down to whatever the prosecution want. To me, that is true. Something is also scheduled for the 21st, but I can't remember what it was. So the 21st is the day that I said that I think I had thought that the motion for a new trial was going to go on. Now, this is what I also heard. Even though the motion may be executed that day, the decision may not come down that day. Now, what if the motion to recuse John Roach and also the motion for a new trial, what if both of those we have the answers on the 21st? So we'll be, and I'm not traveling, so I will be on here live screaming. If they live scream both motions, I'll be right here. Tony Talks vested up every day, every minute. We be over here. Salute. We should never forget our children, and you can best believe it. Come on with it. These are some of the most insecure trolls of a trial, right? And he's supposed to be guilty, right? So they could claim they know what is right. Come on with it. There used to be a ton of YouTube channels talking about him live. Now there's only this one. Yeah, I don't know why everybody forgot about Karmelo. I don't know why everybody forgot about Karmelo. Then be honest with you, the algorithm has even suppressing videos that talk about Karmelo. I don't know what happened. I didn't get that memo. And even if I got the memo to switch up, oh, I would have just, the devil is a lie. I would have tore up that email, deleted that email, but I don't know what happened, Daniel. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Honestly, with so many different YouTube channels, I really don't know what happened. Day 54, even now with the 2 motions coming up, it's still barely getting traction. So I just keep pushing. But thank you, thank you, Daniel. Thank you. And Mike Howard said he agrees with the sentence. That's when he was trying to play nice. Cool, you guys. You're keeping it real. I'm done with Nancy. Thank you, Daniel. That's why you lost it. People were hoping. Not here. We intended to see. So who me? I think Daniel was. I think Daniel was just. I think Daniel was just saying an observation. I didn't take nothing wrong. We don't care what white people. I thought he was trying to say YouTube channels, not white people. It's just a shame a few years ago that a tons of channel. Now, right. So that's what he was just saying. He was just making an observation that a few weeks ago, everybody was talking about Karmelo, and then Nolan just took over and people forgot about Karmelo. Right. See, he said, I was just wondering if we moved on to another crime. I'm trying to cover all of them over here. So thank you, Daniel. I got what you were saying. He actually looks drugged. Facts. Jesse, now this right here was a month ago. We don't know what Jeff looked like now, and I really don't care. The boys on the boat couldn't understand that they were all adults. 10 minutes to explain. Come on, ooh. As long as God is where Karmelo is at God, he got him and makes no mistake about it. Come on with it. Come on with it. Jeff drug out on Nancy Grace. Come on with it. How many jurors were brown like Karmelo? 0, 0, 0. 3 Hispanics probably weren't. Go ahead, come on. They definitely not gonna like this. Whiskey is lying. Didn't we catch Whiskey in that lie to my he don't understand why Karmelo didn't testify? He said that boldly, y'all. And Whiskey. Oh, y'all, Whiskey. Listen, these people are lying through their teeth. Bill was reading. This is crazy. Wow, this man has the stones to set on TV, but I guess he never expect Mike Howard to tell all the. Yes, you are so right. Yes. Bill Whiskey is a liar, and now we know. Now we know for sure he's the devil. And when he did this interview, he couldn't even look into the camera. Look, do y'all see this? His body language, his face. Even Jeff know he was sick behind the scenes, y'all. Even his conscience was eating at him. Y'all just look at Jeff. Yes. Jeff looked like he's 79, hate age you, and lying. He knows that Karmelo Anthony is innocent. You know Hunter told him, yeah, we did that, Dad. Jeff said, don't you say that. Don't you say that. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Look at Jeff. Look at his eyes. Look. Look at it. Look how he looking down, y'all. He know. Get her knickers in a twist, as Brenda said. Panties in a bunch. Tony, she probably will because Nancy wants her followers racist to come on channel. Maybe. Okay, hold on. Karmelo is still and forever in our hearts, and prayers continue. Our Lord Jesus goes on with us to fight against our enemies. Come on with it. And when I just thought I couldn't dig Mike Ho out anymore, then that video played tonight showing Karmelo's parents being misled by you. Do they have a video of the witness barbecue? They never even brought that up. All right, I'm gonna give it about 2 more minutes. Let's see here. That's right, perjury. This is absolutely correct. Nancy falling for grace. Make it make sense. Jeff hung over. Jeff, you're a lying wonder. And they get away with perjury. Listen, when they get called to the stand in the new trial, they still shaking behind the scenes. Trust me. Free Karmelo. What's up, Cowboy Nation? I remember you. Free Karmelo. And good evening. I'm joining late. I haven't heard a peep from the Metcalfs. Not nothing. They look like it was their first day of high school in that photo. Come on with it. Nah, you come on with it. Come on. Jeff, you got some splaining to do. Well, that's it, manslaughter. What you get? Shit. Nah, not on that evidence. Nah, I'm sorry. She said at the minimum manslaughter. She said at the minimum. She didn't say at the least, because a lot of people say he shouldn't even be charged. This is the only line of pale face. Jeff talked like he was there. You know, a lot of people say that he did say he was there, but of course you can't hear that no more. Jeff, your son was a bully. Stop lying. Come on with it. You saying someone took a video under that tent? Yeah, what did I ever say? God dang. Did I say that? I said that the state, so maybe you had an honest question. So let me repeat and let me just get my composure. No, I was showing that in the gentleman's agreement that the prosecution and the judge and Mike Howard agreed to only discuss what happened under the tent. Now, do I think those kids in those cell phones took videos under the tent? Yes, 100%, 1000%. But all the cell phones were confiscated by Officer Bassinet, Chris Bassinet. So yes, I do think it was video under the tent. What high schooler is not recording a fight or an altercation? Now, remember, we heard that Jeff said exactly in one of these clips here, it only took 12 seconds. Now maybe the kids was not ready, because 12 seconds is kind of fast. So maybe the kids didn't get an opportunity to film it, because Jeff even said it only lasted 12 seconds. So Jeff just confirmed that the original crystal clear video shows where his sons walked up to Karmelo, even though he flipped it, walked up to Karmelo Anthony, and the whole thing happened in 12 seconds. Pop, 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 boom. So they already came. So his sons came that were premeditated something. You bad tell kids bullied every day. Hey, how you doing, Miss Lady T? So he was there when the boys approached being a bully. Yes, he was. Karmelo Anthony was already there. Yes. So Miss Austin put hands on Karmelo. Yes. And even Hunter said that. Even Hunter said that. Yes. Even Nancy Grace said that. Yes. Hunter. Yes. They both said that. See. We getting it now. Yes. See, we getting it there. Why she ain't talk about assault? Come on with it. He's BSing what happened to all of his racist remarks. Now he's acting all religious with some integrity. See what we doing? We're getting ready for the 19th and the 20th. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna hold y'all on here about. So it's manslaughter. Nah, it ain't manslaughter. It's self-defense. It is self-defense. It's self-defense. Jaguar was saying that, and Nancy even mentioned self-defense. I'm saying manslaughter. No. It's not manslaughter. No, it's self-defense. What is wrong with using the same language? So his sons wasn't using the same language. Facts, and you see how aggressive they was. Self-defense. The original video told the truth. Here, can we go with provocation? And Karmelo provoked them to assault. Yeah, so they're saying when Karmelo Anthony said, because I want to hear Karmelo Anthony said, I told him, because Karmelo Anthony said, I told him not to put his hands on me. That was a warning. But in their world, they said that's provocation. They said that when Karmelo told him don't put his hands on me, that was provocation. They said that was basically inviting Austin to do something to him, y'all. Oh my gosh. You have about 30 seconds. Come on with it. No worries, because the new trial, all the evidence will be brought forth. Come on with it. Come on with it. Wait, I thought Jeff wasn't there. He said the coach called him. He said that too. But then other people said that Jeff was there, because they said that Jeff was there because somebody from the middle school had already called him and his wife Megan, because the boys had somebody had called the police on the boys for harassing a middle school girl. Let's not forget all these details that's gonna matter. So they was in the area. I cannot continue to listen to Nancy lies. I have to sign off. Good night, everybody. And ride Warner like a gazelle. Let me tell you one thing. To answer your question, if you all of a sudden you was sitting there and you was ambushed by 4 people, you will want to get away from the element also. They even teach us in the military, hey, if you get ambushed so you don't think you got hit by 4 people and you just gonna stand there, yes, you're gonna get away. But let's say now, since you want to be funny, where did he run to? He went and got a coach, and he was walking back on the field, pointing up there to the stands and talking to the coach. So if you're gonna tell it over here, if you're gonna say something over here, tell it right. Tell it right. I'm disappointed in Nancy on this one, and I agree she is wrong. Yes. Come on with it. Coach Tony calls a foul, points to Karmelo. Jefferson shocked that Nancy is good as light. Oh God. Yeah, your son goes like that equals assault. Facts. Hunter ran ahead of his own brother, very giddy, and that was first to run up to Karmelo. Facts with it. Lies being told. Eddie didn't invite Karmelo into the tent. Come on. Come on. What you say? Assault is neither. Let's see here. What they fighting about if someone was just stabbed? I don't know. Sheesh. Vestas, y'all done showed out. Listen, hold on. I got all of them. I'm about to go through them. I'm about to go out through them tomorrow. Hey, thank you for becoming a new member, JDLS720. Thank you so much. No, it doesn't make him the aggressor. I must have missed that. Welcome. I'm a new member, Miss Tony. Thank you so much. Thank you. Justice for Karmelo. Yes, Yolanda Hope Griffin. Yes. Come on with it. There are still people talking about the case. Yes, it is. Yes. We haven't forgot about Karmelo. Justice for Karmelo. Come on with it. YouTube pushes out hateful video about him. When you search that's what shows. See? It's been like that before the verdict. See? It's okay though, because on the 19th and the 20th, 19th and the 20th, trust me, YouTube is going to make that the forefront. Tony says, I'm glad you chose to follow your heart and focus on Karmelo Anthony alone. Come on with it. And I got Daniel, and I got Daryl, and y'all, oh gosh. Another case, Dion Walton, also on the 4th of July, he went out swimming with some of his friends, and he did not come back up, y'all. He drowned. That happened in Alabama. So tomorrow, since I got Nancy off my plate and Jeff off my plate, I'll be bringing that up to you. So we also had a third black young man, 18 or 17-year-old, die on July the 4th in a body of water, and he drowned. And he was out with his friends. And of course, the friends have not been named. Wink, wink. I'm so glad you keep Karmelo in the algorithm. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'm so glad you haven't given up Karmelo. Hey, I remember you walked by faith with Keisha. I've been praying from him. Amen. And tomorrow I'm gonna come back with the address. I'm still waiting. I gotta find the video. It's been so many videos. I gotta find the video where we had posted his address. So I'm gonna bring that to you tomorrow. We haven't forgot. We timestamped his new hearings. Come on with it. I'm so glad you still cover Karmelo. Now YouTube content creators focus on Nolan as well. I've been here every day. Thank you so much. The coverage of Karmelo will pick up from, and they would be for sure. Facts. All of a sudden, it's going to be in the news cycle. And Nancy Grace, I will be watching you and your channel and Fox News. Because I want to know if they're going to let their audience know about the affidavit. If not, they audience. The other YouTube channels are following trends. They move on to the next trend following. Facts. Not me. But thank you for that. Not me. All those who bore false witness against Karmelo will have to answer for what they've done, not just to us, to God. Come on with it. Facts. I said Bill Whiskey is the devil and a liar, and couldn't look into the camera while sitting. Oh Jeff, man. Oh Jeff.
Correct, Dave.
Oh Jeff. Y'all look. Melo not guilty of self-defense only, right? Melo guilty of self-defense only, yeah. He said we were there first. I heard Jeff. I thought Jeff slipped up. So y'all heard it too. Okay. Y'all heard it too. I hope the defense subpoena all of the phone photo deletion history. Just like, listen, that's what I'm going to bring tomorrow. The cybersecurity part of this case and the Nolan Wells case. Because trust me, cybersecurity and the forensics and the evidence, and it's something about why the parents of Nolan Wells had to subpoena all of the data owners. I'm going to bring that up tomorrow. No, he didn't put his hands on. No, he didn't only put his hands on Melo. He strong-armed his property to this and stole it. So that's theft, y'all. I forgot. And stealth. That's theft. 19 to recuse. 20th motion to new trial. Both would be challenging, but they should be successful with recusal. The motion to a new trial was based on ineffective counsel. So believe it or not, the grounds for this here didn't include ineffective assistant of counsel because Mike Howard gave over the affidavit. So that's not the grounds. I thought so too. I looked at it, but the appeal is only based on 4 grounds for a motion for a new trial. One is first ground for a new trial, violation of the 6th Amendment. The second grounds for a new trial, unrecorded gentleman's agreement. The third ground for a new trial, court unsupported provocation instructions. And the fourth ground for a new trial in the interest of justice. Those are the 4 grounds for the new trial. Let me see if it's all in here once, because I had to search for it. It was in different paragraphs. But those are the 4 motions for a new trial. I can see number 1, granted. Number 2, granted. Number 3, granted. And number 4, granted. That should be granted a new trial. Justice for Karmelo. Do you think? I do. D. Nelson, Eddie. We already had this discussion, Eddie. I wonder this because the twins came in that field and up the steps with a purpose. Eddie Parra. It had to be Eddie. Come on with it. Free Karmelo. My heart and prayer is still supportive of Karmelo. God is always bringing the truth. It looks like somebody else stabbed Austin. That's why they didn't bring the autopsy, because some people saying that his primary death was OD'd, and the other people saying that he actually had 2 stab wounds. We shall see. Eddie was taken off the clothes. Why? Come on with it. Question: did Karmelo Anthony call any witnesses? Yes, very little, but even in the agreement, I think, oh gosh, what was that right here? He did call, I'm going to say maybe 3 or 4, including his mother, but the agreement said that they could not, he could only ask them certain questions. Don't forget the guy who took something out of the trash can and put it under the jacket. I really think it was the Uggs. I really think it's the Uggs. Violation of its assistant, ineffective assistant counsel. I mean, I can see that, but the 6th Amendment said that to a public and speedy trial. So that's what they were leading on. Speedy and public trial. So there's a lot of exhibits that support that it was not a public trial to the manner that it should have been a public trial. But free Karmelo. Yes, but you're not going to believe what happened in the court. He was not even called to character witness. I believe that it was a Democrat plan trying to play to get the black vote, to blame it on the Republican. Texas law allows for self-defense, but now they didn't want to uphold the law. Come on with it. Satan, Jeff Metcalf. Thank you. Nancy Grace couldn't handle you, Tony. LOL. We need to continue to go hard for the Anthony and the Nolan's Wells. We also need to investigate what is going on in the government and the laws they are changing and making. I agree with you, Monica Gaines. Vote, fight the power. Cindy Lawrence, I'm going to go out on this, your comment and your remark. So to Vestas, until next time, make sure you go to get your notes, your drink, and your vest, because we stay vested up over here at Tony Talks Vested Up Compelling Sports Edge. I hear that storm. I need to acknowledge that storm and get off before I get knocked off. I wish I could have went through all of the comments, but I didn't. But tomorrow night, I would try to get through all of them once again. But I'm going to leave on this right here, Cindy Lawrence. Vote, fight the power. All right, Vestas. I'll see you next time. Okay. Thank you. A disgrace. Matter of fact, I don't even want to go out on that. Come on, sister. Walk us out the room.
Because
Walk us out the room, Jag.
to get what's the whole purpose of all of this nigga show? You got Al Sharpton, you got black athletes, you raising all of this money, doing all of this shit. You can't use none of that to shut these pussies the fuck up. Am I the only one that gives a shit about the quality of that dead young man's name? Even his parents is busy running from city to city and state to state. They've been on television more than they've cried for their dead child because these Democratic keeping them so busy because we're going to get justice. And I bet you don't happen. But maybe some money and a bunch of speeches for the Democratic National Convention Party through these generals.
Yeah, whenever you see them, of course, seeing Black death at the hands of a possible white person, white kid or whatever, that they try to bring race involved. You see the Ben Crumps, you see the Lee Maris and the things of that nature. Do you feel they always have to, like, when you see them try to make it?
Anthony got the racial divide all stirred up, but because he was the one that protected his life against that young white man, and I do believe it was nothing more than manslaughter. I'm sick and tired of them calling that boy a murderer. They've done too much lying about the details for Karmelo Anthony. He deserves a new trial. Everybody's so busy talking about Nolan Wells. Ain't nobody talking about the updates anymore on Karmelo Anthony's case. Come August, there are 2 hearings that are coming. You hear that, Dr. Matthews? Are you going to be there with your camera crew trying to make people taste the ancestors? Kiss my ass. Fake revolutionaries, and you have the audacity to use Black Panther. Updates on Karmelo Anthony. There will be a hearing to see whether or not Judge Roach will be replaced. And I pray to God he is. And the day after that, there will be a hearing to see if he will get a new trial, which I pray to God he receives.
Yeah, where do you feel the first trial went wrong, just from you knowing the details of what you know about that trial? Where did they go wrong with him getting...
They tricked that boy into not testifying on his own behalf because they promised him that all prior bad acts would stay out, and then they flipped on trial and used that agreement against him. Jury selection is where I believe things went wrong with that trial. 3 Black educators that were barred from sitting on that jury because they were afraid of bias, and replaced them with non-Black people of color who have absolutely nothing for that little country family. The simple fact that they let Jake Lang carry on outside as long as they did before he was arrested after threatening that jury to do exactly what they did. Now, it was cute, the $1 million bond. Unfortunately, they dropped it down to $250,000, which was enough money in his gifts and go for him to bond himself out, go to California, and get his whooped at the BET Awards.
Damn.
Just in time. His bond got dropped just in the nick of time, almost like this shit is being orchestrated. The biggest problem and fault that I blame for what happened to the Anthony family is Charleston White. He sat there and cozied himself up to those people, told those people to trust the process, told those people to trust the lawyers, told those people to trust the judge, told those people to trust. He sat there and used his celebrity to play all over that family, and then turn around and stabbed him in the back, and then tried to turn a profit on it. You're gonna go to hell, bitch. And I hope you end up in a burning watermelon. And I hope the devil shit in your mouth until all your eye come out. We have to do better. We're failing these kids. We're failing our children. Our children are being used to stoke algorithms.
Facts, Jack.
To make
Facts,
millions for the media machines while they suffer. Unfairly tried and thrown in jail in TDC in less than 24 hours. Since fucking when does anybody pull chain that fast? Since when? Not even Diddy went to prison that fast. Not even Diddy went to prison that fast. And they still lying about what happened up underneath that tent.
Thank you, Jag.
Still. Biggest mistake the Anthony family ever made was to trust Charleston White. Because he did them just like he did Dewberry. If I ever get the chance to stand over top of you, I promise you, I'm going to spit right in your face.
To answer your question, here is the full interview that she did. She did the interview with real life stars, and I'll show you the thumbnail, and then I'm gonna let you go, Vestas. Thank you so much for participating and engaging with this conversation. Still saying free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony. After 54 days, the Black community is still saying free Karmelo Anthony. Thank you so much, Vestas, for tapping on this live right here, and also interacting with this live, because some of people may have never even known about the affidavit that Mike Howard put out and gave to Karmelo Anthony new legal team and say, here you go, here's what you need. Let me pull this up right here, and then I'm gonna let you go. Thank you, Lord, for holding the power while the storm is on the outside. Hold on. Real life stars. I'm gonna show you the thumbnail right here. Real life stars. Real life street stars. My bad. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Here is the Taya interview. Thank you so much, Jag. And also, she goes over Nancy Grace in this video here. Jaguar goes on Charleston White, Mob 3 trial, Nolan Wells, Jay-Z, Diddy, and more. So tomorrow, I'm going to go through the rest of the video and see if she says anything else about Karmelo Anthony and stuff. Even with the Nolan Wells, even with Daniel Irvin. Let's not forget Daniel Irvin passed away in April of this year, drowned by 2 of his white friends also. Okay, but this right here is the actual interview, the full interview, and it was released 1 day ago. So there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. All right, Vestas, thank you again. Thank you again. Let me check my chats one more time. Okay, we need to teach our kids warfare. These white kids are on the World of Warcraft, right? In military training. Come on with it, come on with it, come on with it, come on with it. We need to slap them across the face. Not physically anyway, and say, get away from the TV, get away from the video games. Let's go outside and let's learn some how to self-defend yourself, hand-to-hand comeback like we used to do, okay? Come on with it. Facts. It's a justice system, period. This case is nested within it, but the entire system needs to be dismantled and reformed, because Karmelo is not the first and not the last, but we're trying to change this right now and put a stop to all of this until the system is changed. Facts. Let's not forget about the Congressman Vesta. We ain't forgot. That is you're talking about the Congressman. What Congressman? To my Patrick Fallon. I ain't forgot about Patrick Fallon. I ain't forgot about Patrick Fallon. Trust me. I've been begging black parents for 5 to 6 years to get their kids out of the schools and other programs that were mingling with the enemy. Come on, Pamela's way. Thank you, Queen. You welcome. You welcome. But without being in the social media spotlight, no one would know his name or fight for him to this day. I totally agree. Sylvester, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Thank you so much for all of your love and your attention and the engagement, and still seeing Scream Karmelo Anthony after 54 days. We only got 17 more and 18 more for the 2 new motions, okay? The creator doesn't play about his children, and we still is in control. Free Karmelo. All right, Bridget, gonna go out on this one. Thank you so much. Free Karmelo. See you tomorrow. The multiple assailant law, that is considered a deadly weapon. So that means that Karmelo Anthony, he meant deadly force with deadly force. If being circled with 4 people, 2 people together was almost 500 pounds, 440. That means he meant deadly force with deadly force. If they could have had their way with Karmelo Anthony, we would be singing a different tune. Definition of defense of property. Since Hunter just said that Austin grabbed his property before the fight took place, that means that those boys was aggressive. This young man is sitting up in the bleachers minding his own business. Let me paint the stage since Mike Howard didn't do it for the jury. He's sitting up there invited under the tent. And Tony talks vested up. How you know they coming with aggression? Because we saw how they was walking up to them stands. And they went up in the stands. And Hunter just told exactly what happened. He said, we walked up to him and told him to move. Aggression. He still didn't do nothing. They tell him to move. All these multiple people, 150, 220, 220, maybe 150, 150. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot under that tent. You don't know what's going on. The original people that saw the video, it said it happened in a matter of seconds. That's sufficient evidence. The prosecutor has a burden of proving every element of the defense beyond reasonable doubt. If it cannot do so, the defendant is entitled to an acquittal. The prosecution has the burden of proving every element of offense beyond a reasonable doubt. If it can't do so, it said every element, the defendant is entitled to an acquittal. What did Hunter say? Didn't Hunter say, we went up to him? Uh-oh. Oh, Hunter. Oh, Mike Howard. Oh, Prosecutor Greg Willis. Oh, Judge Roach. Oh, Texas AG Ken Paxton. Multiple assailants. Multiple assailants. Multiple. That they don't think that he should have took those measures to protect his life with the weight of a middle schooler. So for everybody that's painting that Karmelo Anthony reached around in his bag and got the weapon, tell Hunter that, because Hunter just said that Austin took his bag. They want us to believe that Karmelo Anthony threw away his future for Austin Metcalf. With this 3.7 GPA, graduating the next month, no disciplinary action, captain of the football, captain of the track, and 21 scholarships. Get out of here. Get out of here.